specials every Friday and Saturday. Ask for the lunch punch card and have lunch on the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard. And don't forget the Big Apple Lounge on Sater Drive in Inwood.
We've been in a slow-moving educational crisis in West Virginia. Our schools are crumbling, our teachers are struggling. We all see it in our communities. Our Constitution provides a guarantee for a thorough and efficient, free public education. When we brought claims to ensure those objectives were fulfilled in Fayette County, we improved our school system. Our Attorney General must serve as the counsel to our people to ensure this critical objective. I'm Sam Petsong, and I approve this message.
Orsini's, not just an appliance store anymore. They're your one-stop resource for all home needs, whether it's custom kitchen design, countertops, or cabinets, or check out their new sleep studio with Tempur-Pedic, Sealy, and Stearns & Foster. For all of your outdoor living needs, Orsini's has Gladiator Garage Works, Traeger grills, barbecue accessories, barbecue rubs and sauces, and every flavor wood pellets. Visit their brand new 8,200 square foot showroom at 360 Hack Wilson Way, 304-267-7251, Orsinis.com. And we welcome you back to the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show, presented on TV 10 by Pete Doherty, Democrat candidate for Senate in the 16th District. Also, Riley Moore, Republican candidate for Treasurer. Matt Crawford, Matt Miller with you. We are at Coburn Field at David M. Walker Stadium. Matt, let's break down these Spring Valley Timberwolves just a little bbit. They come in at 1-0, opened their season back on the 4th of September with a very impressive 42-7 victory over Parkersburg, a game in which they tallied 452 total yards, 292 on the ground, but 160 through the air. Meanwhile, their defense held Parkersburg to just 65 total yards, and they've been able to kind of work off of that game with a bye last week because of the COVID virus and the color code system, and now here they are ready to face the Martinsburg Bulldogs.
Yeah, and this is a team, you look at Parkersburg and that opening score, that is not a slouch of a Parkersburg team. So you look at that score and you're going, okay, you don't know what Parkersburg's bringing back, or at least we don't in this area. So I think that score definitely jumps off the page at me as, okay, this Spring Valley team's here to play.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They've got that ground and pound mentality. You'll hear that in our next segment as we hear from their 13th year head coach Brad Dingus. But they want to set up that ground game and then hopefully work a little bit of that passing game off of it. They threw 26 pass attempts in week 1. Very unusual for a Spring Valley team that likes to run the football. Running the ball well in that opener was Cole Diamond. He is a senior, goes 5'10", 184, and he pounded out 98 yards on 7 carries. But keep an eye on the quarterback, Jack Roy. He is a big fella, 6'4", 211, and the senior added 58 yards and a touchdown on 10 carries, along with completing 13 of his 26 pass attempts for 158 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 pick.
And you look at Jack Roy, this is a kid coming in, a transfer from Kentucky. We had a chance to talk to him, and you'll get a chance to hear that interview coming up here in a little while. This is a guy that likes to throw the football. Coming from a spread offense. This is a little different vibe for him. But in talking with Coach Dingus, they're throwing the football a little bit more than they did last year because they have a quarterback that can do it. That mixed with a run game, this is a team that can come at you multiple different ways, not necessarily just run between the tackles every single play like a lot of Martinsburg fans may be used to.
At the same time, run between the tackles is just what the Musselman Applemen did last week. You've got to imagine Spring Valley may be licking their chops at least a little bit in considering what they saw on that film coming into this one.
Yeah, and looking right now at the offensive line that's going through the play progressions in the warm-ups, and we talked about how experienced and how big the Musselman offensive line was last week. This offensive line is much bigger than what Musselman was, so Martinsburg's defense is going to have to really hold that line of scrimmage. If you allow Spring Valley to get 3-4 yards a pop, this could be a long day for that front seven of Martinsburg.
Oh, and that front line, offensive line, even on that defensive side of the football as well for Spring Valley. They're led by Wyatt Milam. He is a 6'7", 294-pound senior, has had as many as 20 Division I offers. We understand he's made a verbal commitment to West Virginia, but I was talking with the chaplain for the team earlier down along the sideline. He says he understands that Virginia Tech is still very interested, and of course he's made trips to the big boys, including Clemson and Alabama, so we'll wait and see where Milam ends up tonight. He hopes to end up in the win column for these Spring Valley Timberwolves. Well, there's a little look at the opponent for Martinsburg tonight. We'll take a deeper look after this 2-minute timeout as we get a chance to talk with head coach Brad Dingus. That conversation coming your way after this. It's West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Ollie's VIP Northside Sports Bar and Grill, located on Veronica Drive, Martinsburg, is your Friday night football TV headquarters. Come watch the game indoors or on our party patio out back, featuring plenty of seating, big screen TV, outdoor bar, and fire pit. Order your favorite item from the full menu or try one of their daily specials. Ollie's is open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner. Come meet your friends and make new ones at Ollie's VIP Northside Sports Bar and Grill. Visit our Facebook today.
I'm Natalie Tennant. As West Virginians, we'll get through this crisis together. We've been knocked down before, and we get back up. I've been there with you, and I'll be there again working for a better future, like I did as Secretary of State. By modernizing the office, I saved you money and gave it back, lowered fees and helped businesses create jobs, and made voting easier. We need that kind of leadership again. It takes courage, vision, and cooperation. I know we can do this, West Virginia. I believe in you.
Looking to buy a home in the Eastern Panhandle? Having trouble getting your house sold? Then call Chris Ross and the Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. A Martinsburg High School graduate, Chris knows the local market, and he's proven it as the #1 real estate team in West Virginia in 2019. Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. Phone 304-579-7349 or go to callchrisross.com. Let's celebrate your real estate milestone together.
This is Eddie Gokenai, Republican candidate for Berkeley County Council. I have the necessary leadership skills to move us forward, and I'm asking for your vote on November the 3rd general election. Now for tonight, I want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy high school football in Berkeley County. This is Eddie Gokenai wishing all the best to the area teams, coaches, players, families, and the fans. Be safe and bring home a win.
Elect Republican Eddie Gokenauer to the Berkeley County Council November 3rd, paid for by candidate. We welcome you back to the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. Time now to hear from Spring Valley head coach Brad Dingus. Our conversation brought to you by the Mirius Group and Ameriprise financial advisors John Everson and Phil McCoy. Set up your appointment by phoning 304-263-4343. Matt and I got a chance to talk with Coach Dingus earlier in the week by phone, and we started by asking a little about his team this year.
We're pretty good up front. I mean, we've been lucky to have some kids that has had some size up front. You know, we're not a fancy football team. We're kind of a ground and pound, try to make it ugly, play good defense. Hopefully we can cause some turnovers and kind of slow the game down and, hopefully get us a chance at the end of the game. We're not a high-flying type team that really puts up a ton of points. You know, we're more of a ball control type team that, kind of a throwback, old school. Some people might call us boring to watch, but, that's the type of kids we got, and that's how we kind of roll with it.
Now, it's funny you talk about being a ground and pound team because I read the article on your season opening win against Parkersburg, and you threw the ball 26 times. How much are you trying to add that element?
We're trying. I mean, I think if you added up our first 8 games from last year, we didn't throw it 26 times combined. So, it's something that, we've got a kid that we feel like we can throw the ball a little bit with Jack Roy. And, our skill players and our receivers we're a little young last year for us to do that. They've grown up. They're juniors and seniors this year. So, that's an element that we felt like we could work on. And, we were able to get in control of that ball game a couple weeks ago when we were playing Parkersburg and was able to, let's see if we can go and do this in a game situation. And, we'll throw the ball more this year than what we have in the past. There was games that we didn't attempt one pass. We would like to throw the ball between 8 and 12 times a game. Right now, I think that's in our comfort zone.
How much do you look forward to a matchup against a team like Martinsburg? Obviously, this has been pretty quick in developing as the schedule is pretty much week by week right now, but how much do you look forward to a matchup with a team from the opposite corner of the state, but with the reputation that Martinsburg brings in?
I mean, it's exciting. It's exciting for our program. The opportunity for our kids to play somebody of that caliber with, the reputation that they have. And it's something different. With the conference that we play in, the Mountain State Athletic Conference, it takes up such a chunk of your schedule. We have to play 8 conference games. And normally those 2 non-conference games, you usually pick up 1 or 2 of the conference teams you don't play. So, it's somebody new. As a coaching part of it, I'm excited to play it, especially early in the season, to kind of gauge where you're at. Not that regular season games don't matter, but they do. But it's a different feel to it in a regular season game rather than postseason. So, it's a good gauge for us. We'll see where we're at because, they're the standard of AAA high school football here in the state. And, to go up against them and kind of gauge where you're at early in the season, you can see what you can work on. And the way this thing's going with COVID and all that stuff, who knows if we'll even have a postseason or if we do get there, who knows what it's going to look like. So, anytime you can go compete and challenge yourself and let the kids go and go against the best and see where they're at.
You played your opener, and then last week, because of the situation in Kanawha County, did not get a game in, so you're coming in off a bye. Has that been good, do you think, heading into a matchup like this, or how do you look at that?
We've got a lot of kids that are first-year starters. I mean, we've got our interior guys back, but as far as the back end and our defense in the secondary and linebacker and the majority of our backfield, quarterback, receiver, is all new. So it was good to play that first game and kind of see where we're at, see what we needed to correct. You always want to play. You never want to sit, especially when it's not a scheduled open week. So, we spent last week really working on us. Really didn't find out till late Saturday evening that this was going to happen, and it kind of happened real quick. But, you got your normal dings and nicks from playing in a game. Those kids were able to heal up, and that was a good thing.
And that is Spring Valley head coach Brad Dingus. Our conversation brought to you by the Mirius Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors, John Everson and Phil McCoy. Phone them for an appointment at 304-263-4343. We have more of the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show coming up. This is West Virginia High School Football on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
Pete Doherty will put Berkeley and Jefferson County first in the state Senate. Doherty has spent 4 decades fighting for our children, seniors, and veterans while keeping the Eastern Panhandle safe from crime. As your senator, Doherty will fight back against the Charleston establishment, ensure that police have the funding needed to protect our communities, repair our crumbling infrastructure and high-speed internet, and be a champion for public education. On November 3rd, let's tell Charleston there's a new sheriff in town. Vote Pete Doherty for state Senate.
Committed to keeping Berkeley County safe. That's Curtis Keller. He's dedicated his life to public service as sheriff, volunteer firefighter, paramedic, captain, police chief, guardsman, and for 30 years, serving as a referee for high school football. Experienced, dedicated, honest, and the best choice for sheriff of Berkeley County. That's Curtis Keller. This November, help re-elect Curtis Keller for sheriff of Berkeley County. Paid for by candidate.
Where do you turn when an emergency hits your home? Call Blue Ridge Property Restore in Martinsburg. They offer 24-hour emergency service with certified experts who can clean up water damage, mold infestations, fire damage, and biohazards. They'll work with your insurance company to get it done right. So call Blue Ridge Property Restore at 304-262-8100 and get back from disaster faster.
Nothing goes better with football than chicken. From Pee Wee to the big boys to the wing T formation. Oh my, fumbling, bumbling, stumbling.
Omaha!
Rocks, local market.
We are back once again on the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. W. Harley Miller Systems providing custom integration services for home and office automation, home theater networking, audio, video distribution, and more. They're online at whmsystems.com. On the TV10 side, our pregame presented by Pete Doherty. He is a Democrat candidate for Senate in the 16th District, and by Riley Moore, Republican candidate for Treasurer. All right, Matt, we've looked at Spring Valley. Let's look at these Martinsburg Bulldogs. They're coming off of an impressive 51-33 win last weekend here at home against Musselman, opening the season at 1-0. Martinsburg in that game had 235 rushing yards, but 283 passing yards for 518 total yards of offense. And when you look at those passing numbers, you had to be impressed with Peyton Curry, his first varsity start, 10 of 15, 226 yards, and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, he was very impressive, and one of my keys to the game early in that one was that he didn't need to do too much, and he just needed to settle down and make sure he wasn't trying to put the team on his back. There's a bunch of playmakers in this Martinsburg offense. He just needed to basically hold on to the football, don't make bad throws, and he was going to keep this offense in the game, and that's exactly what he did. And the explosive weapons of Naeem Kearney and Kevon Warren, and you had Anthony Smith on the outside. There's still a lot of dynamic playmakers on this Martinsburg offense, and when they were able to get to the edge, it was their bread and butter. You're not going to be able to stop the speed of this Martinsburg offense if you let them get outside the hash marks. Their offense got jumbled up a bit when they would try to get right up the middle, and I see that being a possible problem again today with the size of that Spring Valley defense. So, again, if they can get to the outside, if they can roll out, get guys moving, this is an offense that's very hard to stop.
Meanwhile, on the defensive side of the football, not the typical numbers that you expect out of a Martinsburg defense last week, giving up 363 rushing yards, only 13 passing yards, but that's 376 total yards of offense and 33 points. We'll see if that game under their belt now helps this defense to be ready to go against a big running football team today.
And there was a lot of new pieces to that Martinsburg front seven, and Anthony Smith was all over the place on defense as well. But there was a lot of guys that didn't have a whole lot of starting varsity experience on that defensive line, and in the game tonight, you wouldn't want to play anybody but Musselman last week to prepare you. So hopefully you gain some experience in that game. You're going to see a lot of the same, so use that experience, and again, just try to keep that line of scrimmage where it is. You can't let Spring Valley get 3, 4, 5 yards a clip, or it's going to be a long day.
Let's talk briefly special teams, really for both of these teams. Not a lot of punting in that matchup for Spring Valley against Parkersburg, in a 42-7 win in that opener. And last weekend for Martinsburg and Musselman, no punts in the game at all. And when it came to kickoffs, nobody really wanted to kick deep for either team here because of the talent in the return game. I'll be anxious to see how this week goes and whether either team elects to go ahead and kick deep, or if we'll continue to see those popped up kicks or squib kicks.
I would imagine that if you're Martinsburg, you kick deep once and see what their return looks like, because you don't want to give this team the 40-yard line every single possession. So I would expect them to attempt to kick it deep once early just to see what their return game looks like. And obviously you're probably going to have to punt today. I would imagine you're not going to go 2 straight games without punting the football, so we'll see what that punt unit looks like. But it'll be interesting to see what the special teams does for Spring Valley. I can't imagine they kick it deep against the speed of Martinsburg.
Do you really want to give it to Anthony Smith in open territory, or possibly Kevon Warren and or Naeem Kearney, whoever else may be back?
If you're a Martinsburg fan, you want him to. If you're Spring Valley, I'm thinking you're going to get a squib or a pooch kick to about the 30-yard line just about every time.
All right, we'll take a little deeper look at the Martinsburg Bulldogs after this timeout as we go in the end zone and talk with head coach Britt Sherman. That'll be followed up by our In the Huddle segment. Had a chance to catch up with one player from each team. We'll tell you who that is and bring you those interviews in a little bit as well on our pregame show, brought to you by W. Harley Miller Systems. Let's send it back to the studio. This is West Virginia High School Football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Our dad taught us a lot about the law, but he taught us even more about life and people. He taught us to treat clients like family. At the Skinner Law Firm, the firm our father started here in the Eastern Panhandle, we still believe that.
We also believe that everyone has the right to be protected from those who don't play by the rules.
We believe it's about helping people. call us at the Skinner Law Firm, where we treat you like family.
I'm Natalie Tennant. As West Virginians, we'll get through this crisis together. We've been knocked down before, and we get back up. I've been there with you, and I'll be there again working for a better future like I did as Secretary of State. By modernizing the office, I saved you money and gave it back, lowered fees and helped businesses create jobs, and made voting easier. We need that kind of leadership again. It takes courage, vision, and cooperation. I know we can do this, West Virginia. I believe in you.
John Perdue never dreamed he'd go to college, let alone become one of the best state treasurers. John Perdue brought back financial integrity and transparency to the treasurer's office. He created the highly successful Smart 529 College Savings Program, and under his watch has returned more than $230 million in unclaimed property. He's created the 457 Retirement Program and WV Able, and his Board of Treasury Investments has the highest rating from Standard & Poor's.
I'm John Perdue, and I've never forgotten that I worked for you.
It's one of the toughest times you'll ever face when someone close to you passes away. It's a swirl of papers to sign and arrangements to be made, all while you're dealing with grief. At Brown Funeral Home, we encourage you to pre-plan. Pre-planning not only makes things easier for you, it protects you from rising costs. At Brown Funeral Home, our families are precious to us, and so are yours. Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson.
We welcome you back to the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show, coming your way now from In the End Zone as we talk with Martinsburg head coach Britt Sherman. Our conversation brought to you by Parsons Ford. They're on Shepherdstown Road, just east of Martinsburg. They became #1 by making you #1 first, Parsons. Coach, congratulations, a win in your first game as head coach. Tell us what you saw from your team in the victory against a good Musselman club.
Just really proud of the effort and just overcoming all the obstacles it took to get there, and then what a relief and what, you know, a sense of some normalcy to actually get to play a game, you know, and these guys just to get to go out and play football, and they loved it, and it was exciting. It was just a good evening.
Were you surprised at all by that final score and that it was such a high-scoring affair?
Well, I mean, I was glad that we were able to score a lot of points, but you know, defensively we gave up more points than we normally do, and you know, I think it was kind of a perfect storm. We were playing a really good team, and you know, had a lot of inexperienced guys in, and we hadn't had any film yet to correct a lot of mistakes, but now we do, and you know, hopefully we can get those things corrected.
You mentioned some inexperienced guys. Your starting quarterback Peyton Curry making his first varsity start. Talk to us about how well he came out and executed what you wanted to do.
Well, I mean, when you look at it and look at the fact that we took what reps away from him, and you know, we missed a week of practice, and you know, actual in-pad reps, he probably, you know, only had 3 or 4 days of those. He did a phenomenal job, and you know, executed better than even I thought he could do during that game. So you know, it was just one of those deals where he, you know, he was a gamer, and he did even above expectations.
Naeem Kearney with that 73-yard touchdown run to get you guys started. How did that maybe set the tone for the game and even take a little pressure off of Curry?
Well, you know, that's big, having somebody that's done that kind of stuff and come back and make that type of run at the beginning of the game. And you know, in that run, Anthony Smith threw a really, really good block, and you know, seeing teammates work together like that, and he was able to make that run because of that block, and you know, it was big, and I'm sure that it did help him a little bit at the beginning. You know, settle down. Okay, I don't have to make as big of plays here on the first drive because my teammates already done it.
This week's opponent, one that was not originally on the schedule. This is one of those COVID-19 games, the way that this year is playing out. Your thoughts on getting a chance to face Spring Valley and do it here?
Yeah, I mean, we've tried to schedule games with them in the off season, and things just didn't work out. They're so far away, but you know, at this point, I'm sure Coach Dingus and I can speak for myself. We're just looking for games for these kids to play, and you know, I applaud them for making the trip all the way up here, and you know, they're a quality opponent, and I'm sure it's going to be a really good game.
Does it help playing a team like Musselman, a ground and pound team last week, facing another similar type of team this week?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just glad we got out of that game mostly healthy. You know, as physical as a game as it was, And then, it's going to be another physical game this week. So, hopefully that prepares us a little bit for this coming week.
Coach, we wish you the best. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Matt.
Britt Sherman, head football coach for the Martinsburg Bulldogs, joining us here in the end zone as part of our W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. Our conversation brought to you by Parsons Ford. They're on Shepherdstown Road, just outside of Martinsburg. They became #1 by making you #1 first, Parsons. Stay tuned for more. It's West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio, WRNRN TV 10.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
Erie Insurance.
I'm Riley Moore. I'm going to make the Treasurer's Office work for you.
Moore will start a blue-collar saving program to buy tools and equipment, which will jumpstart our economy. While Moore wants term limits, his opponent has been in office for nearly 30 years. Riley Moore is the only candidate for treasurer who supports President Trump.
I'm Riley Moore, and we would be honored to have your vote for state treasurer.
Paid for by Moore for West Virginia. Treasurer, R.J. Moore III.
Ollie's VIP Northside Sports Bar and Grill, located on Veronica Drive, Martinsburg, is your Friday night football TV headquarters. Come watch the game indoors or on our party patio out back, featuring plenty of seating, big screen TV, outdoor bar, and fire pit. Order your favorite item from the full menu or try one of their daily specials. Ollie's is open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner. Come meet your friends and make new ones at Ollie's VIP Northside Sports Bar and Grill. Visit our Facebook today.
My name is Marshall Wilson. I'm the only independent serving in the West Virginia legislature, and I'm running for governor to uphold and defend the Constitution of the state of West Virginia and of the United States, because I want my children to raise their children in a free, just, prosperous, and secure land. If my children have that opportunity, yours will also. Look us up at marshallforwv.com. Please vote S. Marshall Wilson for governor. Thank you very much.
Write in S. Marshall Wilson for governor, paid for by Marshall for WV.
We welcome you back into the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. Time to go in the huddle as we talk with a player from each team. This segment is brought to you by Blue Ridge Property Restore, getting you back from disaster faster. Talking with Bulldog senior Anthony Smith, a kind of do-it-all player for this team, wide receiver, outside linebacker, returning kicks and punts. What do you like the most when you're on the football field?
That's a hard decision, but I'd have to go with receiver because, I like getting in the end zone for my team, scoring, providing on the offensive side. But defense, that's also fun as well.
All right, let's go back to being a wide receiver. You had 7 catches, over 200 yards, found the end zone 3 times. What was that opener like for you last week?
It was good. It was my first game, so, I had to come out and perform well. But everything fell into place for us. I got to thank my QB and the lineman for being able to get me the ball and blocking well also, though.
All right, you mentioned blocking. Coach just talked about you throwing a pretty good block to help spring Naeem Kearney on that opening 73-yard touchdown run. Give us an idea of playing the wide receiver position in this offense and what it's like and those important things that you do even when you don't catch the football.
Even when you don't get the ball, you got to go out and give 100%, provide for and set other people up to score.
All right, go to the defensive side. What was the big challenge against Musselman last week in trying to slow down Blake Hartman?
Their line, they was really giving us a struggle in the beginning of the game, but we didn't get tired. We got good stamina. We pushed through the end and ended up slowing them down.
This week you get a similar type of team, a Spring Valley team that wants to ground and pound. Does it help coming off a game like last week?
Yes, sir, it does. Because, we're used to it from last game, so everything we can work on a little bit more things to help it out, and then we'll be good.
You've been on this varsity level for a while, so you're familiar with Spring Valley and those state championship appearances. What's it mean to you to get them here?
It feels good. It's like they're like a rival team from way down south, though, but it's going to be a good game, competition everywhere.
Well, we wish you the best in that game, Anthony. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
There you go, Anthony Smith joining us with our In the Huddle segment. Right now, we're headed down south as we get a chance to hear from their starting quarterback at Spring Valley's Jack Roy. Well, Jack, thanks for taking a little time with us today. A big win in your opener over Parkersburg, 42-7. Give us an idea of what that game was like for you.
Oh, it was great. Being able to come in and run the offense with this big line and just the good players that we have. It was definitely a good atmosphere to play in, and it was definitely something to remember.
You guys are a run-first team, but this year throwing the ball a little bit more. First, talk about the challenges and how important it is to, when you get those opportunities to throw the football, to take advantage of them.
Oh, I definitely take advantage of every time I get to throw the football because I like to find myself as more of a passing quarterback than running. So every opportunity I have to pass, I definitely try to make it a good one.
Did I read that you are actually a transfer student out of Kentucky? What is your first year in the system like?
It was different at first. I'm used to the spread offense in Kentucky, but transferring in and going into a run-heavy team, it was something to pick up at first, but now once you got a hang of it and you build the chemistry with these guys, it wasn't that bad after time.
In this area, we're usually asking transfers from Maryland, Virginia, or Pennsylvania, the difference between high school football in the States. But talk to us about Kentucky. What's the difference between West Virginia football and Kentucky football?
West Virginia football is completely different. It's good, to say the least, but just the whole atmosphere and how real they take it and how big it is in the state of West Virginia. I mean, it's completely different, but it's definitely good to come in and play with such people that take everything so serious.
With that in mind, it's a pretty big matchup against Martinsburg on the road Friday night. How much do you look forward to that?
Oh, I'm definitely looking forward to that. I mean, it's good to just be able to play, but definitely in this big of a matchup, I know me and all my guys are ready to go out there and play, but it should be a good game nonetheless.
College on the horizon for you, looking to play football?
Most definitely, yes, but just go see how the season goes and keep rolling in offers.
Have you received any offers yet?
I got one from Kentucky Christian. That's about it right now, just a few looks.
Well, Jack, as you get ready to travel, we wish you safety and a great game on Friday night. We're looking forward to being a part of it.
Thank you. It means a lot.
And that is Spring Valley starting quarterback Jack Roy joining us in the huddle. Our conversation brought to you by Blue Ridge Property Restore, getting you back from disaster faster. Stay tuned for more of our W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. This is West Virginia High School Football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
I'm Natalie Tennant. As West Virginians, we'll get through this crisis together. We've been knocked down before, and we get back up. I've been there with you, and I'll be there again working for a better future like I did as Secretary of State. By modernizing the office, I saved you money and gave it back, lowered fees and helped businesses create jobs, and made voting easier. We need that kind of leadership again. It takes courage, vision, and cooperation. I know we can do this, West Virginia. I believe in you.
This is Eddie Gokenai, Republican candidate for Berkeley County Council. I have the necessary leadership skills to move us forward, and I'm asking for your vote on November the 3rd general election. Now for tonight, I want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy high school football in Berkeley County. This is Eddie Gokenai wishing all the best to the area teams, coaches, players, families, and the fans. Be safe and bring home a win.
Elect Republican Eddie Gokenauer to the Berkeley County Council November 3rd. Paid for by candidate.
Let's talk trash, because when it comes to trash, you have options. Panhandle Dumpsters is a local family-owned garbage hauling company serving both residential and commercial customers with weekly trash pickup, dumpster service, yard waste pickup, and bulk pickups too. Panhandle Dumpsters will give you a free trash can and provide curbside service for just $23 a month. Panhandle Dumpsters features a fleet of quieter, eco-friendly garbage trucks, thereby reducing the noise usually associated with pickup. Switch now and save up to 30%. Call 833-DUMP-STR, panhandledumpsters.com.
Looking to buy a home in the Eastern Panhandle? Having trouble getting your house sold? Then call Chris Ross and the Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. A Martinsburg High School graduate, Chris knows the local market, and he's proven it as the #1 real estate team in West Virginia in 2019. Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. Phone 304-579-7349 or go to callchrisross.com. Let's celebrate your real estate milestone together.
Welcome back to Coburn Field at David M. Walker Stadium on the campus of Martinsburg High School. Tonight, the Bulldogs play host to the Spring Valley Timberwolves out of the Huntington, West Virginia area. We have the final portion of our W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. It's time for Keys to the Game. They're brought to you by West Virginia Governor candidate S. Marshall Wilson, independently running as a write-in candidate. So be sure to write in S. Marshall Wilson, November 3rd. Matt, keys to the game for this one.
I'm going to start with the visiting Spring Valley Timberwolves. And offensively, obviously the key to the game, it's no secret. Run the football, do it well. It's what you do well. Defensively, I think their biggest key is going to come on that side of the football. You have to try to contain Martinsburg inside the hash marks. We saw last week, you let them get outside, it's bad news. They have the speed to turn the corner, and they do that very well. They've done that very well for years now, including 3 state championships against Spring Valley. So you got to try to contain them at least between the numbers, but try between those hash marks and make them run back inside. We saw last week when Musselman made them cut back in towards the field, they got bottled up almost instantly and almost every single time. So that's the key, and I think the biggest key for the Spring Valley team. For Martinsburg, the key is just on the defensive line, you got to man up. You've got to dig your feet in. You got to buckle that chin strap a little bit tighter, and you have got to establish or keep that line of scrimmage where it is established. You can't let them get 3, 4, 5 yards a pop, or it is going to be a very long day, and you're going to get worn out very, very quickly.
How much will we see defensive linemen today for Martinsburg maybe not make the tackle, but if they can eat up those offensive linemen and, as you said, at least maintain the line of scrimmage, now it allows the linebackers to come fill the holes.
Again, you got to keep the ball where it was snapped. And that's the biggest key. Even if you're causing a stalemate at the line of scrimmage, that is the win. And you let that second tier guys, meaning the linebackers, come in and make that play. So I think it's going to be big. Another thing to watch out for, not necessarily a key, but just something to watch out for, it's a 5.5-hour bus ride from just outside of Huntington. They made that trip today.
They did.
So you had kids sit on the bus for a long time and getting ready to play a football game. I mean, they're competitors in that locker room. They're a very good football team. They're going to be ready to play, but it'll be interesting to see if the legs are a little slow, if they're a little lethargic starting this one.
So the early part of this game could be key for Martinsburg.
Yeah.
Maybe take
Jump
advantage
out early. Yeah.
There you go. Keys to the game brought to you by your next West Virginia governor, S. Marshall Wilson, independently running for governor. You can write in S. Marshall Wilson November 3rd or on your absentee ballot if you've already applied and had that coming your way. All right, that's going to do it for our pregame show. And we need to take a 3-minute timeout, and when we come back, we'll take a look at the starting lineups for this one. It's Martinsburg hosting Spring Valley, West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNRN TV 10.
Remember that last trip to the auto mechanic?
I also think your solenoid gasket is bad.
What?
Yep, that'll be another $500.
Forget that and go to D&N Auto Specialist at 230 Tavern Road, Martinsburg, where honesty is their best policy. Serving the Eastern Panhandle since 1974, D&N Auto is family-owned and operated, specializing in exhaust alignments and tires. From general maintenance to major overhauls, they'll treat you right. Call D&N Auto Specialist at 304-267-4078.
This November, be a part of change and help elect Tony Petrucci to the Berkeley County Council.
With my experience and conservative background, I feel I can serve the people well. I have maintained a very conservative and practical approach to handle the county. To put it plainly, I want the county to be prosperous and its citizens healthy and safe.
Tony's first term was described as leaving behind a reputation of fairness and fiscal responsibility. And when you vote Petrucci, you're voting for fiscal responsibility, health and safety, citizen involvement, and economic growth. This November, vote Tony Petrucci.
Paid for by candidate.
And that concludes today's pregame show.
We play every play like it's the most important play of the game. Who let the dogs out?
Coming up next, it's the starting lineups, opening kick, and play-by-play action of West Virginia high school football featuring the AAA Martinsburg Bulldogs. Today's game is being brought to you by
Kent Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, The Skinner Law Firm, Smallwood and Small Insurance, Ollie's VIP Lounge, Curtis Keller for Sheriff, Panhandle Dumpsters, Bricks 27 Restaurant, WVU Medicine East, Hagerstown Ford, the Brown Funeral Homes and Cremations, Bechtel Jewelers, the Mirius Group of Financial Advisors, Chris Ross of Milestone Realty, S. Marshall Wilson for West Virginia Governor, Pete Doherty for West Virginia Senate, Riley Moore for West Virginia Treasurer, The Mansion Ferretti Law Firm, Natalie Tennant for West Virginia Secretary of State, Marshall Sports Medicine, John Perdue for West Virginia Treasurer, Eddie Gokenauer for Berkeley County Council, Sam Petzonk for West Virginia Attorney General, The Palace Lounge Bar and Grill, Tony Petrucci for Berkeley County Council, and the Berkeley County Health Department.
And now, let's go back to the field and rejoin our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team.
Well, there you go, the Martinsburg High School Marching Band with our national anthem, the Junior ROTC presenting the colors. We are getting ever closer to the opening kick. Right now, time for a look at the starting lineups, a service of D&N Auto Specialist. If your vehicle is not starting properly, start at D&N Auto to get it fixed right the first time. Family owned and operated since 1974. Phone them at 304-267-4078. Let's begin with the visitors from Spring Valley. Jack Roy is their starting quarterback, threw for 158 yards, 3 touchdowns in a Week 1 victory as Spring Valley comes in 1-0. Joining him in the backfield, fullback Cole Diamond. He ran for 98 yards in Week 1. The tailback is Brody Brumfield. Also on the outside, wide receivers, you've got Hank Hinchman and Jace Caldwell, and Brody Brumfield is in the backfield. You've got Corbin Page as a tight end. Saw him lining up several times in a slot formation during some of the early warm-ups. And then, Matt, a good-sized offensive line. Bryce Briggs, Kyle Blankenship are on the left side of the line with Evan Ferguson as the center, Shane Roberts and Wyatt Milam on the other side of the line. A couple of guys, 281, 294, but the other guys, 227 to 240, so Martinsburg may match up relatively well.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what that interior lineman does. I'm going to be watching for what that offensive line is doing, play in and play out in regards to pulling. Are they pulling those big guys, or are they using the little bit smaller, shifty guys to try to do some traps in the middle? That's going to be something to watch out for early in this game.
Offensively for Martinsburg, Peyton Curry, the senior, makes his second start, threw for 226 yards, 4 touchdowns last week in the win against Musselman. Joining him in the backfield will be more than likely Naeem Kearney getting the start. Had 127 rushing yards and a score. Look for Kevon Warren back there as well, not only at running back, but even at quarterback. The wide receivers, Anthony Smith, Jarvis Thurston, Dorn Smith, and Hudson Clement. And along the front line, you've got Olin Kaufman and Justin Petrie on one side, Christian Slack and Micah Selman on the other. Jacob Zittel is the starting center. All right, defensively for Spring Valley, Derek Bowen is a corner along with Ben Turner. Jace Caldwell is the free safety. Brody Brumfield and Cole Diamond are your Spur and Bandit linebackers, while Zane Brumfield and Dane Burgess are linebackers as well. Along the front line, your defensive ends are Devin McKinney and Corbin Page, while the tackles, Evan Ferguson and Wyatt Milam. For the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Anthony Smith and Kevon Warren are outside linebackers with Cam Shallis and Braxton Todd on the inside. Along the defensive front line, you got Christian Slack, Justin Petrie, Micah Selman, and Zion Watson. Dorn Smith and Jarvis Thurston are the corners, and either Hudson Clement or Kazan Villa will get the start at safety. Lineups brought to you by D&N Auto Specialist, where honesty is their best policy. They specialize in exhaust alignments and tires. Phone them at 304-267-4078. Let's take a look at our game officials match. They are brought to us by Panhandle Dumpsters, providing residential and commercial pickup. Get your yellow trash can by calling a great number. Ready? 833-DUMP-STIR. Yeah, that's DUMPSTR. 833 dump stir.
Can't get any better marketing than that.
Not at all. The officials: head referee David Aird. Our umpire is Jeff Dodd. The linesman is Chris Triggs. The head line judge is Dave Warner. The field judge, Randy Robinson. And the side judge will be Derwin Carter. They are from the local Eastern Panhandle Officials Association. Game officials again brought to you by Panhandle Dumpsters. Get your yellow trash can by calling 833 dump stir. That's DUMP STR. Let's go ahead and take our final 30-second break, and then when we come back, we will tell you how the coin toss plays out, and we will have the opening kick and all the play-by-play action of West Virginia high school football on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10. And we welcome in those who are joining us as we get ready for the kickoff at 97.9 The River down in Huntington. We are glad to have you aboard. We've got a 30-second break, and then we're back to get into the action.
For the Bulldogs, number 2, Peyton Curry. Number 74, Michael.
Floodwaters can spread E. coli bacteria. Here's Bill Kearns from the Berkeley County Health Department about what to do if your well is tested positive.
If it's just a one-time contamination, you can superchlorinate your well, which we have instructions at the health department. They could call and talk to us. You're providing an excessive amount of bleach down the well. Then you do a runoff to get that out of the system, to get the bleach through your lines, get any contamination out of there. You do a runoff of so long, and then you can have it tested again.
The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court in Martinsburg. Call 304-263-5131.
We welcome you back to Coburn Field at David M. Walker Stadium. The indication Spring Valley will take the football to get this one underway. And Matt, not really surprised by that decision.
No, you and I were talking off mic in one of the breaks or one of the features during the pregame, and you asked me, hey, if you have the option, are you taking the football first or do you want it in the second half? I think in a game like this, it's never a bad thing to get the football first and try to put points on the board first. Never a bad time in a football game to take the lead. So I think regardless, both of these teams were probably going to want the football first, but we'll see if a second half return is going to be in favor of the Bulldogs in this one.
Our opening quarter presented by the Skinner Law Firm, injury and consumer rights lawyers, online at skinnerfirm.com. Also by current Berkeley County Sheriff Curtis Keller, committed to keeping Berkeley County safe. Experienced, dedicated, honest. Re-elect Curtis Keller November 3rd. Our opening kick brought to you by Berkeley County Health Department. Our motto is prevent, promote, protect. Call them at 304-263-5131. Martinsburg lining up wearing the white pants with the black jersey tops, orange lettering and white trim, the black helmets with the white state of West Virginia, the orange M in the middle. Spring Valley in the dark blue pants with the light blue and white piping, the white jersey tops, the dark blue and lighter blue piping across the shoulder pads, and they wear that blue helmet with the white SV outlined in that lighter blue. Football teed up to our right at the 40-yard line by Nathan Romer. Ball's along that far side hash mark. He will approach, and this ball game is underway. He does kick a line drive kick deep, taking it about the 8-yard line between the hash marks and the numbers on the far side. That's Turner up the far side. Hash mark works his way out beyond the 20 and the 25, gets to the 30-yard line, and will be taken down just beyond the 30. Very nice return by Ben Turner. So Spring Valley will have it at their own 31, opening possession of this football game. Let's see who can establish that line of scrimmage in the early going of this one. Roy, the quarterback, going to line up with Diamond almost directly behind him, and I mean only by about a yard, as Roy looks like he's going to get up under center. There's a tight wing to the right, a tight slot to the left. Wide out to that far side as well. Slot man starts in motion, and the inside handoff goes to the fullback, and he'll get tripped up in the secondary by Anthony Smith, and that's Cole Diamond. We said he ran for 98 yards on just 7 carries last week. He's going to pick up about 6 here.
Yeah, nothing complex about that play. Just a wedge right up the middle, right behind the center, and a good pickup on first down.
Set it down out close to the 37-yard line. Second down, roughly 4 yards to go for a first. They'll line up in that same formation. A wing to the near side, a slot very tight to that far side. Roy turns, hands it off. On that carry once again is Diamond. He quickly gets wrestled down out beyond the 40 at about the 41-yard line. Looked like Roman Pearson, a sophomore linebacker, who helped to wrestle him down. Diamond going to take that one to the 41, and it will be enough for the first down.
And, man, nothing special up front so far for Spring Valley. It's just straight-up man-to-man blocking. You're hitting the first helmet that comes across your face. And so far, 10 yards on 2 plays, doing it pretty successfully, establishing a new line of scrimmage every time they've touched the football so far.
An early feeling out process, if you will. Diamond again will line up as that fullback directly behind Roy. Good size at the quarterback position as well. There is the snap and the handoff. That is Brumfield, who would come in motion as a slot to the left, moving to his right. He turns upfield and gets out beyond that 45 to the 47-yard line, and another 6-yard gain on a first down run.
Yeah, backside guard pulled. That was number 56, Kyle Blankenship. He was leading the way, and a good job by the back just following that big lineman and letting him lead the way.
I'll give him 5 out to the 46 as they set it down. So 2nd down and 5 coming for Spring Valley. Brody Brumfield, he's a senior, 5'11", 175. Again in that slot, he starts in motion. They'll give that quick inside hitter to Diamond. He runs over Anthony Smith at the 45, down inside the 40, eventually gets taken down just shy of the 35. Mark him at the Bulldog 36-yard line, and that gain is going to be good for 18 and a first down.
Diamond showing some power right there, lowering that shoulder and running over what would have been the first man to make the tackle, getting a couple of extra yards on that one. That was pure power right there by the back.
And the opening drive going just the way Spring Valley head coach Brad Dingus and his staff would like. In his 13th season, leading this program, 104 wins, 41 losses. Roy up under center, has that snap, hands it off to Brumfield. Again, right up the middle of the field. Great job by that offensive line. He didn't get touched until in the secondary, inside the 30 and down close to the 27, a gain of 9.
Very similar play to what they ran 2 plays ago. Was the backside guard Blankenship coming through, leading the way. Did a good job of kicking out the D end. And right now, Spring Valley running the football at will against this Martinsburg defense.
Gains of 6, 4, 5, 18, and 9 yards on their first 5 plays from scrimmage. 2nd and 1 from that Bulldog 27. Ball along the far side, hash mark. Quick inside handoff going to Diamond. He lost the football. It's free, and Martinsburg may have gotten it. Oh, they catch a break as Diamond had broken into the clear. Could not hang on to it, and the Bulldogs are able to recover.
And that is how you take the air out of the sails, the wind out of the sails of Spring Valley. It was going to be another good gain and just could not hold on to the football. Was trying to cut back towards the middle of the field. Good job by the Dogs pouncing on that loose football.
Could not tell who came up with it out of the bottom of the pile, but a big recovery, and from their own 21, Martinsburg will get their first offensive possession. No score with 8:54 to play here in our opening quarter. The Dogs move from right to left. Naeem Kearney to the left of the quarterback as Peyton Curry is in the shotgun. Brings Anthony Smith in motion to the near side. It's a receiver screen. Caught by Dorn Smith. Very quickly hit and taken down by Cole Diamond. Diamond tied in the regular season for leading tackler last year for this team, and he showed why with a good open field tackle after just a 2-yard gain.
And, Matt, going back to that fumble recovery, the forced fumble and the fumble recovery, that has got to be such a momentum boost for that Martinsburg defense after they were having a very tough time stopping Spring Valley on that opening drive.
2nd down and 8 for the Dogs after the 2-yard gain. Ball now on the near side, hash mark. Out to the wide side of the field. The single receiver will be Hudson Clement. 3 receivers bunched tight to this short side, but now Anthony Smith goes in motion. They'll hand him the football on a jet sweep. Can he turn that corner on the far side? He cannot. Oh, that's a great job by Cole Diamond, just fighting through a block and being able to get to the ball carrier and bring down Anthony Smith inside the 20. Mark it back close to the 19 for a loss of 4.
Good open field tackle by Diamond, but Jackson Nicholas also did a good job. Number 41 coming backside across the screen as he didn't try to go in for the tackle. He just trailed Diamond and was going to be there and cut off. Good pursuit by him, just making sure that Anthony Smith didn't get that corner.
Peyton Curry out of the gun. 3 receivers now to this wide side left with the ball on the far side, hash mark. Naeem Kearney to the left of the quarterback. Looks like a change of the play call from the sideline. Kearney now goes to the right side of the quarterback. Curry takes the shotgun snap. Looking, has all day. Going to throw. Looking for Anthony Smith. Leaps up into the air. Makes the grab in front of a defender at the 45-yard line. He got in front of Brody Brumfield and brought it down. It'll be a Martinsburg first down.
And, Matt, we saw a very similar play last week for Anthony Smith against Musselman. That was very good defense. You could not have played tighter defense than Brumfield just did. And Anthony Smith just went up. We know the leaping ability of Anthony Smith, and he just went up up and wanted that football a little bit more.
27 yards on the pass completion on a 3rd down and 12. Martinsburg football 1st and 10, their own 46. Again, ball far side hash mark. Quick pass in the flat on this near side. Caught by Naeem Kearney. Makes a couple of guys miss as he gets to the sideline into Spring Valley territory. Spun down right along the sideline by Dane Burgess, the senior, the leading tackler last timeout with 6 tackles against Parkersburg. Able to get to Kearney after a gain of about 7.
And I'll be interested to see if Coach Sherman decides to pick up the tempo a little bit. Those big guys on the line for Spring Valley aren't going to be able to get back and get set as quickly as some of those athletes are for Martinsburg. So I wonder if at some point we're going to see a little more up-tempo by this Bulldog offense.
On 2nd down and 3, Jarvis Thurston, a slot man to this near side, goes in motion, takes that handoff, looking to run right. There is no place to go as he quickly got bottled up by Zane Brumfield, a senior. Wrapped him up, got some help from his friends. And that stop is going to come all the way back in Martinsburg territory at the 47. And it will be a loss of just about 6 and set up 3rd and 9.
Great push by just 3 down linemen for Spring Valley there. Several of those blue helmets in the backfield very quickly.
Well, Martinsburg converted earlier on a 3rd down and long. Can they find a way to do it again? We will find out as the Dogs line up with 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Out of the gun. Curry takes that shotgun snap. Now flush from the pocket, spins, and then falls forward. Did not get back to the line of scrimmage. It will officially go down as a sack. First sack of the season that this Martinsburg offense has given up. Mark it back at the 44 -3.
And Curry was looking in the direction of Dorn Smith that entire time, stepping up in the pocket. It was one-on-one coverage that Smith had deep, but it was good coverage in the secondary, and Curry just couldn't get him the football, but he was looking for the deep man, number 8, Dorn Smith, that entire play. Never went through his progressions and looked to check down.
Well, there is nobody back yet, but it will be Jarvis Thurston. He's along the near sideline getting some instruction from head coach Britt Sherman, and now heading out. He will be the punter. Back to receive this punt looks to be Brody Brumfield. I think that's a 1 from my angle. There is the snap back. Little controlled roll to that far side, and now he gets it out of there. Nice high spiral. Going to bounce at the 25 in the middle of the field. Take a Martinsburg roll down inside of the 20 and the 15, and will be touched by Kai Walker at what we'll call the 15-yard line. It's actually just inside of the 15, but only by a ball length. And hell, each team has been able to come up with a good defensive stand on the other's opening possession.
And Matt, we saw a punt. Didn't see one all of game 1. Just saw our first punt of the season live for Martinsburg.
And that punt covered 38 yards with no return. And Spring Valley heading out onto the field. No score, 4:39 to play, quarter number 1. And this time they'll start from their own 15-yard line. Opening possession, they started at their own 31 and took it to the Bulldog 27 before a fumble turned it over. Roy up under center, has Diamond behind him. There is the snap and the handoff. That's Brumfield, who was in a slot to that left. He came to his right, took the handoff, moves upfield just beyond the 20. Call it the 21-yard line, and that gain is going to be good for 6.
And Matt, that offensive line for Spring Valley getting a very good push every play. A defensive line for Martinsburg not quite able to get their feet underneath them and just hold that line of scrimmage yet in this game. Other than the fumble, every play has been about as positive as you can get.
Second, roughly 4 with the ball just outside the 20, so we'll call it the 21. Little breezy evening. Right now, not affecting this game at all, especially for Spring Valley as they run the football. Roy out from under center, hands it off. That is Diamond, the fullback. Weaves his way through a little traffic out to about the 24-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and we'll bring up a 3rd down and 1. And I've got 5 carries for about 37 yards in the early going for Cole Diamond. He goes 5'10", 184. He's not huge, but he's a powerful runner. Got a big line to follow as well, led by the big fella. If you missed it earlier, Wyatt Milam, 6'7", 294, a senior. He's made a verbal commit to WVU. On that 3rd down and 1, handoff Brody Brumfield, caught from behind, but he'll have the first down as he moves beyond the 25 out to that 28-yard line, and that'll be a gain of 4 yards.
And Matt, you can tell they really like to run behind Kyle Blankenship. That's the 3rd play already where he has been the lead blockers. There's been a little bit of misdirection in the backfield on that play, and just doing a good job following Blankenship, and he has been a great lead blocker so far in this one. That's at least the 3rd time he's had the running back following him.
4 carries now, 25 yards in the early going for Brody Brumfield. He's looked good toting that football. Again, lines up as that tight slot. Man in motion towards that far side. They'll hand them the football. That's a little bit of a jet sweep, and I believe that's Caldwell on the carry, and it is Jace Caldwell, 6-foot junior, able to turn the corner on the left side, get out to the 39-yard line before being taken down over along the far side numbers. That gain is good for 11 and another Spring Valley first down.
First time we've seen them really try to bounce to the outside so far on this, and everything else has been between the hash marks.
First down and 10 coming, 4 first downs in this opening quarter already for Spring Valley. 2:54, and the clock is winding. No score in this one. Roy out from under center, gives that quick inside handoff to Diamond, and the fullback again getting into that second level of the defense. I believe it was Hudson Clement who laid the shoulder on him, got some help to make the tackle, but not until the 47-yard line, and that gain is good for 8. Boy, they are punching out some big chunks of yardage. Second down and 2 coming.
Bringing in some more size now is Justin Petrie coming into the defensive line. And right now, nobody lined up over the center, so that's what's allowing that little wedge right up the middle.
Roy going to hand it off again. That is Diamond over top of the left side of the line. He pushes his way forward and gets into Martinsburg territory down to that 48-yard line. That gain is good for 5 yards and a first down. 5 first downs in the opening quarter for the Timberwolves. 7th play of this possession coming. The fumble occurred on the 6th play of that opening drive. So they have done a nice job being able to control the line of scrimmage so far and control this football. On first down and 10 from that Bulldog 48, Roy out from under center, hands it off. That is Brumfield again, straight up the middle. Anthony Smith there to meet him and eventually bring him down. They'll spot it around the 42, and that gain is good for 6 more. Matt, first down plays, gain of 6. A gain of 5, a gain of 9, a gain of 6, a gain of 11, a gain of 8, and now another gain of 6.
They haven't made Spring Valley go into their bag of tricks at all so far. I think this is their base offense they're running right now, and they haven't had to adjust it because right now it is working to perfection. This is the exact style of game they want to play, is right now look like they're going to hold the ball going into the second quarter as we're near that 1-minute mark.
Roy again up under center, has Diamond behind him. He is going to give that quick inside handoff to Diamond, and a nice job of that Bulldog defensive front line. Is that a number 70? That is Braxton Todd, a 10, who comes out of there, it looks like, helping to make that stop, the linebacker. And then down inside as well for Martinsburg, Christian Slack, 64. Nice job as they were able to finally get a big stop right at the line of scrimmage. So there was no gain on that play, and it will set up a very important 3rd down and 4 coming. We're down to 35 seconds to play in the quarter. Roy out from under center, fakes the give. He keeps it running left. He's into the clear at the 30, cuts upfield to the 25, and then gets taken down at the 20-yard line. He gave that little inside fake to a man in motion going right. He cut back left, got to the numbers on that far side of the field, and picks up the first down to the 19-yard line.
Yeah, based on that spin in the backfield by Jack Roy, it almost looked like it may have been a broken play, but then you see the left side of that offensive line part like the Red Sea, and that's just a bootleg run to the backside as we see Roy call his own number for the first time in this one, and right now Spring Valley rolling.
23 yards on his first carry, and that will bring to the end quarter number 1. We've got a 90-second break, and then we're back for the second quarter of action. There is no score.
They're my closest friends. We've been through a lot together. Seeing our kids off to college, Kelly losing her mom, my 50th birthday, I trust them with so much. So when it came to my finances, I trusted Kelly's referral to her Ameriprise advisor. Beth gives me the comprehensive advice that helps me feel confident my financial future is secure. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial.
At Anthony's Pizza Inwood location, nobody does it better. We make our own dough and we bake it fresh twice daily. That's freshly baked twice a day to make sure your pizza always tastes great. Take advantage of our Anthony's Pizza special offer. Get 2 large one-topping pizzas, just $17.99. And when you buy 3 12-inch subs, the 4th one's on us. For the best in freshly made pizzas, subs, calzones, stromboli, lasagna, and more, it's got to be Anthony's Pizza, 372 Middleway Pike in Inwood. Call 229-7373 for delivery, anthonysmenu.com.
This is Eddie Gokenai, Republican candidate for Berkeley County Council. I have the necessary leadership skills to move us forward, and I'm asking for your vote on November the 3rd general election. Now for tonight, I want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy high school football in Berkeley County. This is Eddie Gokenai wishing all the best to the area teams, coaches, players, families, and the fans. Be safe and bring home a win.
Elect Republican Eddie Gokenauer to the Berkeley County Council November 3rd. Paid for by candidate.
Here we go to quarter number 2, presented by Chris Ross and Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. Buying or selling a home? Call chrisross.com. Spring Valley football from the Martinsburg 19-yard line. Delayed handoff to Cole Diamond. Diamond with a little bit of a delay. Starts upfield and gets down inside the 15 and the 10. They'll mark him at the 9-yard line. And he may very well have a first and goal coming for Spring Valley. As they set it down, nope, the ball will be just shy of that 9-yard line. So call it a 9-yard gain, a 2nd down and 1 from just inside of the 10. 11th play of this second possession of the ball game for Spring Valley. Our second quarter also brought to you by Smallwood Small Insurance in Martinsburg, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive. On a 2nd down and 1 from just inside the 10, handoff Brody Brumfield. He came from the left to the right in motion, takes that handoff, turns upfield, cuts back to his left and is into the end zone. Spring Valley strikes first.
Bryce Biggs was the leading blocker there, and it was a good hesitation by Brumfield to let him get that block, and he cut back to the inside. Looked like he was going to get bottled up inside the 5, but had that last second cut back inside. Spring Valley takes the first lead in this one.
Brody Brumfield with his 3rd rushing touchdown on the season. In the opener, he had 6 carries, 37 yards, and 2 scores. On to attempt the extra point, Isaac Workman. Snap is back, hold down, kick is up, and it is through. 11:15 to play in quarter number 2. We'll again take that 90-second break with your score now. Spring Valley 7 and Martinsburg nothing. Sorry.
Our dad taught us a lot about the law, but he taught us even more about life and people. He taught us to treat clients like family. At the Skinner Law Firm, the firm our father started here in the Eastern Panhandle, we still believe that.
We also believe that everyone has the right to be protected from those who don't play by the rules.
We believe it's about helping people. Call us at the Skinner Law Firm, where we treat you like family.
I'm Riley Moore. I'm going to make the Treasurer's Office work for you.
Moore will start a blue-collar saving program to buy tools and equipment, which will jumpstart our economy. While Moore wants term limits, his opponent has been in office for nearly 30 years. Riley Moore is the only candidate for treasurer who supports President Trump.
I'm Riley Moore, and we would be honored to have your vote for state treasurer.
Paid for by Moore for West Virginia. Treasurer, R.J. Moore III.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
Erie Insurance.
Well, our apologies as we missed the ensuing kickoff. Popped up along the far side numbers. It hit the ground between a couple of Bulldogs and bounced up to Kevon Warren. And Martinsburg will have it at their own 42-yard line. They will have just their 2nd possession of the football game and now find themselves trailing by a 7-0 score. We'll give you the drive summary in just a moment. It's brought to you by Delegate Jason Barrett. Re-elect Jason Barrett in the 61st Delegate District. Let's get play number 1 underway first. Peyton Curry out of the gun, 2 receivers to each side of the spread formation. There is a pass to the near side intended for Anthony Smith, but he overthrows him on this wide side of the field, and the pass is incomplete. First incompletion for Peyton Curry. Let's give you that drive summary for Spring Valley. 11 plays, 85 yards, took 5 minutes and 24 seconds off the clock, and it was a 10-yard touchdown run for Brody Brumfield to cap the drive. The extra point up and good for Isaac Workman. 7-0 is that lead for the Timberwolves. From their own 42 on a 2nd down and 10. Pass along the near side, and the catch is made. Hudson Clement leaps up into the air at the midfield stripe, catches it as he was cutting back towards the middle of the field, and as he got towards the hash mark, he cut it downfield and able to get to that 46-yard line in Spring Valley territory, and that's good for a Bulldog first down.
Fluid catch for Hudson Clement. He had a defender right behind him in Cole Diamond, not phased at all going up to make that catch.
12 yards on that pass completion. The Bulldogs have their second first down of the first half from the 46-yard line now in Spring Valley territory. Curry hands it off this time. Naeem Kearney running to his left. Looks for an opening and finally just turns it upfield as he was just inside that far side hash mark. He moves to about the 42, make it the 43-yard line for a gain of 3. Really the first time Naeem Kearney has carried the football. He did catch a pass out of the backfield earlier for 7 yards. He's coming off a 127-yard effort with a 73-yard touchdown run last week against Musselman. So from the 43 now of Spring Valley, 2nd down and 7 for Martinsburg. Peyton Curry out of the gun with Naeem Kearney to his right side. Takes that snap, looks to that far side. He is throwing deep. He is looking for Dorn Smith, who leaps up into the air and cannot bring it in. May have just slightly mistimed that leap and got up a little too early. So Martinsburg goes for the home run ball down that far sideline on a 2nd down and 7. And now brings up a key 3rd down and 7 to try to keep the drive alive.
And Curry going for that home run ball. Jarvis Thurston was running a post across the middle of the field. Really a deep slant, and he had his defender beat by a couple of steps. Curry goes through his progressions a little bit right there. Probably has a big gain if he can find Thurston.
On a 3rd down and 7, Peyton Curry out of the shotgun, barks out signals. Some movement along that defensive front, and the linebackers coming up to fill those holes, but the Spring Valley defense able to stay out of that neutral zone. Martinsburg will reset offensively. Man in motion to the far side is Anthony Smith. They'll fake that handoff and now throw the pass far side and behind Naeem Kearney and incomplete at the 30-yard line. Had him open, but Peyton Curry could not connect.
Dane Burgess had a hand in the air. I'm not sure if that one wasn't at least tipped a little bit on its way through. Kind of hard to see from our angle, but it certainly looked like with his hands up, he may have deflected that one just enough to change the ball's course.
Martinsburg now 1 for 3 on 3rd down conversions, and it looks like they're going to send Jarvis Thurston out to punt it away and try to pin this Spring Valley offense deep. Thurston had a punt of 38 yards, his first time. He'll await that snap back at his own 48-yard line right down the middle of the field. Late man coming onto the field for Martinsburg. Man in motion now to this near side as well. Looks like he'll roll a little bit to the near side, and Jarvis Thurston still looking. He wants to run. A little cutback move. Got to the 40. Breaks the tackle to the 35. Stays on his feet to the 30 along the near side. Numbers to the 26-yard line. Oh, that was a don't do it, don't do it. Good play, Jarvis Thurston.
And he was almost wrapped up. It was a bad job of tackling by Corbin Page. You like Jarvis Thurston's view right there as he saw a seam, and yeah, that was exactly it, Matt. It's oh no. Great play, great look, Jarvis Thurston.
Set it down. It looks like at the 26-yard line. Wow. The gain good for 17 yards and a Martinsburg first down, now 1 for 1 on 4th down conversions, although I'm not sure that's how they drew it up. Keeps the drive going right now. Spring Valley with a 7-0 lead. Martinsburg threatening. Peyton Curry out of the gun, takes the snap, hands it off. Naeem Kearney to his left. Can he turn the corner? Yes, he can. To the far side, numbers of the 20 and the 15. Got to go down for the box to the 10, to the 5. He dives for the end zone, and he's in. It's a Martinsburg Bulldog touchdown.
And Matt, you could see that seam on the left side from the minute he took the football. Everybody was blocked on the left side. He had one man to beat, and that is easy money going around the corner from Naeem Kearney.
Hey, let's talk about it, too. Good downfield block by the wide receiver on that far side. That appeared to be Dorn Smith out there, who was laying that down the field block to make sure that he found a pay dirt. Naeem Kearney, 2 carries, 29 yards in the possession, including the 26-yard touchdown run. Now it should be Nate Romer to try to add the PAT, but first we have offside or encroachment on Spring Valley. See if Martinsburg will take that penalty. They don't have to. You can decline it and go ahead and keep the football where it is, so your kick still comes from the 10-yard line, but Martinsburg, will go ahead and take that penalty. So we'll call it a 2-yard penalty, and the first on either team in a very well-played first half. So now the extra point will come from about the 8-yard line as opposed to the 10. Snap coming back to Hudson Clement, the wide receiver, and the kick is blocked. It goes right to Hudson Clement, who stands up and catches it out of the air, but they play dead with the block, and it remains a 1-point lead for Spring Valley. 9:02 to play in our first half. A 90-second break with Spring Valley leading 7-6.
Pete Doherty will put Berkeley and Jefferson County first in the state Senate. Doherty has spent 4 decades fighting for our children, seniors, and veterans while keeping the Eastern Panhandle safe from crime. As your senator, Doherty will fight back against the Charleston establishment, ensure that police have the funding needed to protect our communities, repair our crumbling infrastructure and high-speed internet, and be a champion for public education. On November 3rd, let's tell Charleston there's a new sheriff in town. Vote Pete Doherty for state Senate.
Ollie's VIP Northside Sports Bar and Grill, located on Veronica Drive, Martinsburg, is your Friday night football TV headquarters. Come watch the game indoors or on our party patio out back, featuring plenty of seating, big screen TV, outdoor bar, and fire pit. Order your favorite item from the full menu or try one of their daily specials. Ollie's is open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner. Come meet your friends and make new ones at Ollie's VIP Northside Sports Bar and Grill. Visit our Facebook today.
Looking to buy a home in the Eastern Panhandle? Having trouble getting your house sold? Then call Chris Ross and the Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. A Martinsburg High School graduate, Chris knows the local market, and he's proven it as the #1 real estate team in West Virginia in 2019. Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. Phone 304-579-7349 or go to callchrisross.com. Let's celebrate your real estate milestone together.
Back again here at Coburn Field at David M. Walker Stadium. Martinsburg getting the touchdown but could not get the extra point. They trail 7-6. Romer approaching with the ensuing kickoff going from left to right, and it is a bouncing kick along the near side, somewhat of an onside kick, and one of the up men immediately grabbing that one. That is Trace Snyder. He's a 5'6", 163-pound junior listed as a running back. Smothered that football. Spring Valley.
Great snag by Snyder.
Yeah.
That is a quick football bouncing, and you don't know which way that's going to bounce. That is a very tricky ball to fall on. Good job up front.
They'll have it at their own 49-yard line. Scoring drive brought to you by Delegate Jason Barrett. Re-elect Jason Barrett in the 61st Delegate District. For Martinsburg, it was a 7-play, 58-yard drive in 2 minutes and 12 seconds. 26 yards on the touchdown run for Naeem Kearney. Martinsburg getting a 17-yard gain on a fake punt from Jarvis Thurston to keep that drive alive. Extra point was blocked, though. Spring Valley has the lead and the football. 7-6 the score. 1st and 10 from their own 49. Ball on the near side hash mark. They move from right to left. Good job as Martinsburg got into the backfield. Able to help break up that play as Roy handed it off to Brumfield. And Brody Brumfield got back to the line and nothing more. And that was 70. Aiden Fleming, who, Matt, is a freshman but led the team last week with 12 tackles.
Yeah, he did a good job throwing that shoulder in sideways and just wedging his way between the guard and tackle, or I believe probably the guard and the center based on where he came through. Good job splitting that offensive line.
2nd down and 10 as there was no gain on that play. One of the rare times Martinsburg has been able to do that on a 1st down. On 2nd down and 10, quick inside hitter going to Diamond. He is bottled up after a couple of yards as he squeezed in a hole between the center and the left guard. Into Martinsburg territory, mark it down at about the 48-yard line.
And Matt, that Martinsburg defense starting to step it up a little bit.
A big play coming here. If they could get a stop and force a punt, that would do them well. That last gain good for 3, so 3rd down and 7 coming. So far, Spring Valley 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions. Already 10 carries in the early going for Diamond. They have been working him. Brumfield goes in motion out of the backfield. It'll be a wide out to that far side. Two receivers near side as well. Roy wants to throw over the middle, looking for his big tight end, and incomplete. Great coverage by Kevon Warren as he was able to get a hand in there and help to make sure Corbin Page could not bring it in. Page goes 6'5", 262. He's a junior. Big guy. Meanwhile, for Kevon Warren, not quite that big. 5'11", 200 pounds, but he did a nice job staying with the play.
Yeah, did a very good job right there, timing it perfectly to keep that second arm down. Waited till the right hand went up and made contact with the football. Great job.
On a 4th down and 7. Right now, Spring Valley lining up as though they will go for it. Roy, he is up under center. Now steps out from under center, looks to that far sideline, and we'll get a timeout. Let's take that 90-second break as well. 7:37 to play in the half, and Spring Valley leads Martinsburg 7-6.
I'm Natalie Tennant. As West Virginians, we'll get through this crisis together. We've been knocked down before, and we get back up. I've been there with you, and I'll be there again working for a better future like I did as Secretary of State. By modernizing the office, I saved you money and gave it back, lowered fees and helped businesses create jobs, and made voting easier. We need that kind of leadership again. It takes courage, vision, and cooperation. I know we can do this, West Virginia. I believe in you.
This is Eddie Gokenai, Republican candidate for Berkeley County Council. I have the necessary leadership skills to move us forward, and I'm asking for your vote on November the 3rd general election. Now for tonight, I want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy high school football in Berkeley County. This is Eddie Gokenai wishing all the best to the area teams, coaches, players, families, and the fans. Be safe and bring home a win.
Elect Republican Eddie Gokenauer to the Berkeley County Council November 3rd, paid for by candidate.
John Perdue never dreamed he'd go to college, let alone become one of the best state treasurers. John Perdue brought back financial integrity and transparency to the treasurer's office. He created the highly successful Smart 529 College Savings Program, and under his watch has returned more than $230 million in unclaimed property. He's created the 457 Retirement Program and WV Able, and his Board of Treasury Investments has the highest rating from Standard & Poor's.
I'm John Perdue, and I've never forgotten that I worked for you.
Back out of that Spring Valley timeout, they will send Jack Roy, the quarterback, back to punt. He stands inside his own 40, and the snap goes over his head all the way back to the 25-yard line. He's going to pick it up at the 20. Now looks to throw that football and eventually just throws it away towards that far sideline. It will fall down incomplete, and the Martinsburg Bulldogs will take over the possession. Oh, wow.
Couple of big breaks so far in this game for Martinsburg, and I shouldn't even say big breaks. A couple of mistakes in this game by Spring Valley have been costly. That fumble looked like it was early in the game, looked like it was probably going to stop a touchdown drive. And luckily, Roy able to make that an incomplete pass, basically, or a turnover on downs rather than that ball being well inside the red zone, as that snap was about, what would you say, Matt, 3 feet over his head?
Yeah, he had no chance.
And he is not a small frame back there.
6'4".
Yeah.
So Martinsburg will take over at their own 48-yard line. Now their third offensive possession. Still 7:28 to play in the half. 7-6. Spring Valley in the lead. Ball in the middle of the field. Peyton Curry takes the snap. Hands it off. It's an end around as Naeem Kearney gives it to Anthony Smith. Smith moving to his left. Penalty markers are down as along the far side hash mark. Smith got into Spring Valley territory for a gain of close to 5, but it's coming back. 2 flags are down as a pair of officials saw that hold in the backfield. That'll be the first penalty on the Bulldogs, and it's going to be a big one because it looks like it's going to come, about 3 yards deep in the backfield. So 13 yards on the hold. Never been a fan of that on the high school level.
Yeah, it's got to be from the line of scrimmage.
Move it all the way back to the 35-yard line. They got to get a first down at the 42 in Spring Valley territory. So about 23 yards to go to get a first down on this first down play.
That left side of the offensive line trying to hold 6'7", 294 Wyatt Milam. And as that cutback happened, that is a large large high score to try to keep contained one-on-one.
Now here is the snap and the quick screen to the near side. Jarvis Thurston with the catch and brought down by Caldwell. Great open field tackle at the 39-yard line, and that gain will be good for only 4 yards.
Yeah, good job on the outside by Caldwell, using the sideline more as an extra defender right there. Knew that he had teammates coming if that play was going to go to try to go back towards the middle of the field. Use that sideline as an extra defender and just broke down, didn't try to tackle high. Fundamental tackle in the open field.
Second down, about 19 to go for the Dogs from their own 39. Moving from left to right. 3 receivers headed out to that wide side left. And Kevon Warren now out there at quarterback. Naeem Kearney joining him in the backfield. And is Kevon Warren going to keep it off this near side? Slips a tackle at the line of scrimmage to the near sideline. Cut back move at the 45 inside the 40. Taken down at the 37-yard line in Spring Valley territory. And that's what Kevon Warren brings you.
And Kevon Warren did a good job cutting back to this near sideline. Just waited for those blockers to set up in front of him. Saw a little lane to the near side and took advantage. Talked about it in the pregame. If they can turn the corner, if they can get outside the numbers and really get momentum going downhill, they're a dangerous football team.
About 24 yards on a 3rd and 19. Kevon Warren going to stay out there and again going to keep that football, and he'll get to the 30-yard line for a pickup of 7. Now, we saw this last week where Kevon Warren able to come in and make things happen. And don't think that he'll just run the football. He completed a couple of passes last week. Hold on.
I believe there was a penalty flag down, as they are going to, looks like, move that football back. Didn't see the signal.
I did not see it either. I think that is what Britt Sherman is asking for.
Had to be a hold of how much they're moving that football back, a 12-yard penalty. So a hold just a little bit in the backfield. Second hold of this drive.
So they'll move the football back to the 42-yard line and take away that 7-yard gain. So from the 42, first down and 15. So it must have been a pre-snap penalty. Kevon Warren taking the snap this time off the right side of the line. He gets twisted down after a short gain. That was Bryce Biggs who was able to get a hold of him, 6'6", 281-pound senior defensive lineman. That stop comes at the 36-yard line after about a 6-yard gain. So Kevon Warren has a couple of carries for 30 yards, and Martinsburg will face a second down and about 9. Down 7-6, 4:46 on a running first half clock, and we'll have a whistle, and let's see, timeout being taken by Spring Valley. Again, we'll take a 90-second break. We got 4:42 to play in the half, and Spring Valley leading Martinsburg 7-6.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
Erie Insurance.
I'm Riley Moore. I'm going to make the treasurer's office work for you.
Moore will start a blue-collar saving program to buy tools and equipment, which will jumpstart our economy. While Moore wants term limits, his opponent has been in office for nearly 30 years. Riley Moore is the only candidate for treasurer who supports President Trump.
I'm Riley Moore, and we would be honored to have your vote for state treasurer.
Paid for by Moore for West Virginia. Treasurer, R.J. Moore III.
Looking to buy a home in the Eastern Panhandle? Having trouble getting your house sold? Then call Chris Ross and the Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. A Martinsburg High School graduate, Chris knows the local market, and he's proven it as the #1 real estate team in West Virginia in 2019. Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. Phone 304-579-7349 or go to callchrisross.com. Let's celebrate your real estate milestone together.
So here we go. Martinsburg out of that Spring Valley defensive timeout facing a second down and 9. Football at about the 36-yard line of Spring Valley. Kevon Warren staying out there at quarterback, moving to his right, leaps over a man diving at his feet. That was Dane Burgess. Eventually, Warren goes out of bounds at about the 34, and that game will be good for only about 2 yards.
That 2 yards was helped out on the outside. Hudson Clement and Naeem Kearney setting very good blocks on the outside right there, staying in the shoulder pads, taking both of their guys to the ground, perfectly legal, but good job on the outside by the running back and receiver.
So Martinsburg facing 3rd down and 7 from the 34 of the Timberwolves. Warren taking the shotgun snap, looks far side, now looks down the middle, has some time, pocket begins to collapse, rolls to that far side, able to slip a tackle. He turns the corner outside the numbers to the 30, cutback move to the 25, hit hard and stood up nicely by Jace Caldwell to eventually get some help from friends to wrestle him down, but he's got enough for another Bulldog first down as Kevon Warren is inside the 25.
And that is the dangerous Martinsburg offense. Kevon Warren really not even having to use full speed to avoid 2 tacklers, and you have got to take a better angle of pursuit, and I'm sure that's something that Coach Dingus is going to talk about at the half. You cannot take an immediate beeline to this Martinsburg backfield. They're going to beat you with their speed every single time.
Gain good for 11 yards from the 34 down to the 23 of Spring Valley. 4:06 to play in our second quarter, brought to you by Chris Ross and Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. Call chrisross.com. Also Smallwood Small Insurance. There is the snap, and this time Curry's back out there, hands it off to Naeem Kearney. Kearney running to his right, finds a cutback lane to his left. Along the near side, hash mark goes in for the score, but hold on, penalty marker is down. And I think we're going to end up with a hold or an illegal block, and yep, it's a hold on Martinsburg at the 20-yard line. 4 make it 3 yards into the run. The coaching staff for Martinsburg not liking that call, but it will be -10 on the hold. A pair of penalties for 23 yards against Martinsburg in this possession.
A pair or 3? Is that not the 3rd holding penalty on this drive?
No. Remember, the other one was not a hold. It was a 5-yard penalty prior to the
third penalty on this drive.
Yes, third penalty on this drive. So there are 3 penalties for 28 yards. Move it back to the 30-yard line in Spring Valley territory. 7th play of the possession coming up. It is first down, and it looks like about 17 yards to go for a first. Curry throwing along the near side, and the pass gets batted down. That looked to be Corbin Page, a defensive end, who got his hands on it.
6'5". Yes, and he is just about 7 foot when he gets those hands completely raised in the air.
We do want to take a moment while we have an opportunity to welcome in those that are listening at 97.9 The River, thanks to Reeves Kurtner at Kindred Communications, helping to get things set up so that we can make sure you got a chance to hear this one as well. 3:44 to play in our first half, 7-6. Spring Valley with the lead from the Timberwolves 30-yard line. Second down about 17. Curry's going to keep it himself, coming here to the near side. Gets taken down after a gain of maybe 3 yards.
Just a mismatch on the outside. One receiver on the outside, and that was Hudson Clement trying to block 3 guys. Just a matter of numbers on this near side.
They do set it at the 27, so it was a 3-yard pickup. Looking back through my numbers, that is 2 carries, 0 yards now for Curry, as he had a carry earlier for -3. See what Martinsburg will elect to do here. This is probably 2-down territory, you would imagine, at the 27 of Spring Valley on what will be a 3rd down and about 14. The Dogs 2 of 4 on 3rd down conversions. Snap back to Peyton Curry. Little play action pass, looking to that far side, throwing towards the end zone, leaping into the air. Anthony Smith cannot bring it down. That was a leap and a dive as well. He was high off the ground and lunging out into the end zone, but could not bring it in.
Can't fault the effort. And I think as this season goes on, you will see Peyton Curry connect on those. Just didn't quite have the touch on that long ball.
5 of 10, 52 yards in this first half unofficially for Curry. 10th play of the possession coming from the 27 of the Timberwolves, and it will be a 4th down and 14 for Martinsburg. 2:52 to play in our first half. 7-6, Spring Valley with a 1-point lead. Peyton Curry out of the gun will have Naeem Kearney to his right. Trip receivers out to the wide side left, and before the snap of the football, we'll have a timeout, and it's taken by Martinsburg. We're going to take a 1-minute timeout here in this situation with 2:52 left in the half. We're back in 1 minute. 7-6, Spring Valley with the lead.
Kira, we're just taking one here. This will be just 60.
Our dad taught us a lot about the law, but he taught us even more about life and people. He taught us to treat clients like family. At the Skinner Law Firm, the firm our father started here in the Eastern Panhandle, we still believe that.
We also believe that everyone has the right to be protected from those who don't play by the rules.
We believe it's about helping people. Call us at the Skinner Law Firm, where we treat you like family.
Pete Doherty will put Berkeley and Jefferson County first in the state Senate. Doherty has spent 4 decades fighting for our children, seniors, and veterans while keeping the Eastern Panhandle safe from crime. As your senator, Doherty will fight back against the Charleston establishment, ensure that police have the funding needed to protect our communities, repair our crumbling infrastructure and high-speed internet, and be a champion for public education. On November 3rd, let's tell Charleston there's a new sheriff in town. Vote Pete Doherty for state Senate.
Play here in this one, our electrifying plays of the game brought to you by Orsini's in Martinsburg, your total home headquarters. All right, 4th down, 14 from the 27 of Spring Valley. Out of the timeout, Peyton Curry back to throw, has some time, now rolls to this near side, looking, oh, the pressure gets to him and he's sacked back at the 36-yard line. Biggs able to track him down and get the sack, second sack in this first half for Spring Valley.
And Spring Valley not bringing pressure there. That was just a good push by the front 4 down linemen. They brought everybody else back. They were in coverage. They were not going to get beat deep on what you said was looking for a big play. And now, again, just a great push by those inside linemen down low.
That is a loss of 9 yards and a turnover on downs. And Spring Valley will take over the football with 2:44 to play in the half, leading 7-6. They lead thanks to a blocked extra point. They'll have it at their own 36. Jack Roy going to have Brumfield right beside of him as he's going to line up in the shotgun with a receiver here to the near side, 2 receivers to the far side. Diamond as the fullback out in front over top of that right guard. There is the handoff to Brumfield. Met in the hole, spins, falls forward, and will get taken down at the 39 after a 3-yard gain.
Dangerous play by Brumfield at the end. As he was going down, just stuck that football out. A couple of black helmets coming in. That could have been a costly turnover right there. Got to hold on to the football. That extra half yard isn't going to do much.
Clock winding, 2:20 and counting in our first half. 2nd and 7 coming from their own 39. Spring Valley right now not in any hurry with that 1-point lead.
And if you're Martinsburg, you have to get a defensive stand here. You get the football to start the second half, and you don't want to be playing catch-up when you get that football back. Dogs still have 2 timeouts. Let's see what happens on this play. Brumfield again to the left of the quarterback as Roy awaits the shotgun snap. Has it helmet high, drops it. Football still loose, and eventually he's able to corral it as he was down on the seat of his pants reaching for it and pulls it in at the 31-yard line, a loss of 8. Not sure if that was a planned quick throw, but you could tell his eyes came off of it and never saw it all the way into his hands. I'm guessing that play call was to get it out of his hands quick.
It'll bring up 3rd down and about 15, and now we will get that timeout taken by Martinsburg. Again, a 60-second break with 1:35 remaining in our first half, and Spring Valley leading 7-6.
This one's a 62.
I'm Natalie Tennant. As West Virginians, we'll get through this crisis together. We've been knocked down before, and we get back up. I've been there with you, and I'll be there again working for a better future like I did as Secretary of State. By modernizing the office, I saved you money and gave it back, lowered fees and helped businesses create jobs, and made voting easier. We need that kind of leadership again. It takes courage, vision, and cooperation. I know we can do this, West Virginia. I believe in you.
Orsini's, not just an appliance store anymore. They're your one-stop resource for all home needs, whether it's custom kitchen design, countertops, or cabinets, or check out their new sleep studio with Tempur-Pedic, Sealy, and Stearns & Foster. For all of your outdoor living needs, Orsini's has Gladiator Garage Works, Traeger grills, barbecue accessories, barbecue rubs and sauces, and every flavor wood pellets. Visit their brand new 8,200 square foot showroom at 360 Hack Wilson Way, 304-267-7251, Orsinis.com.
With you, John Alderton, our main camera operator upstairs. Ella Joseph down on the sideline running that camera. Kira Anderson, our on-site producer. Donald Kenny, our studio engineer. Matt, we got to say thanks to Mike Hornby, our own station owner, along with Delegate Jason Barrett, helping to finance some of the travel for Spring Valley to get them up here for this game tonight. All right, we got a 3rd down and 15 for Spring Valley from their own 31-yard line with 1:35 to play in the first half. Roy's going to go up under center this time. They'll go back to their regular formation. Quick inside handoff going to Cole Diamond. He is met in that hole, keeps the legs churning, and still ends up picking up a yard out to the 32. But I think Martinsburg is going to go ahead and burn their final timeout and see what they can do to force a punt with 1:27 left. They set it down at the 32. That was a 1-yard gain. 11 carries, roughly 63 yards for Diamond here in this first half. Well, they are sending him to the sideline. I wondered if they would make it quick. We'll take 1 minute again and then be back again. A 1-minute timeout, 1:27 left in the half, 7-6 Spring Valley.
1 minute break, 1 minute.
An injury at any age can be a game changer. But with walk-in clinics Monday through Saturday, the Marshall Sports Medicine Institute is ready to get you off the bench and back in the game. Marshall Sports Medicine Institute takes care of the herd. Let us take care of you.
If you need to speak with a lawyer about an insurance claim or motor vehicle wreck, at Mansion Ferretti we rely on 100 years of combined personal injury and trial experience to win your case. There is no charge for meeting with us, and there is no fee unless we win. Mansion Ferretti excels because we are local, experienced in our courts, and always working hard to develop the personal relationship with clients that makes a difference. Call us at 304-264-8505 or go to wvjusticelawyers.com. At Mansion Ferretti, it's about seeking justice for you.
Committed to keeping Berkeley County safe. That's Curtis Keller. He's dedicated his life to public service as sheriff, volunteer firefighter, paramedic, captain, police chief, guardsman, and for 30 years, serving as a referee for high school football. Experienced, dedicated, honest. And the best choice for sheriff of Berkeley County. That's Curtis Keller. This November, help re-elect Curtis Keller for sheriff of Berkeley County. Paid for by Canada.
Away as Jack Roy will line up to do that kicking. Remember, they tried to punt earlier and the snap went over his head. He got to it and ended up throwing an incompletion, and Martinsburg took over on downs. A high snap here could really hurt. Martinsburg looking like they might bring the pressure. Waiting, and now that snap is back. Floats back to him, but he gets it and gets it out of there. End-over-end kick coming to the near side and taking on that Bulldog sideline, and they mark it at the midfield stripe.
Not a good punt at all. That's going to cover just about, 19 yards?
18 yards on the punt, and with 1:22 left in the first half, plenty of time for what has been a quick strike ability offense for Martinsburg. From the midfield stripe, the Dogs will send who out at quarterback? It will be Kevon Warren. So Warren is going to play quarterback with a back to his right side. That is Naeem Kearney. 3 receivers out to that far side left. There is the snap. Kevon Warren keeping it, moving to his left, now upfield. Gets hit and taken down. Mark him at about the 46, a 4-yard gain.
Big possession here. We mentioned it a bit earlier. Martinsburg is going to get the football back to start the second half. If they can punch one in here, they have a chance to go 2 for 1.
On 2nd down and 6, clock still winding, 1:02 and counting. Kevon Warren awaiting that shotgun snap. He's got it, fakes that handoff, keeps it, sidesteps a tackler now with a little stiff arm, moves to his left, gets a good downfield block inside the 40, late penalty marker down as Kevon Warren goes down at about the 38, and now we got to check that penalty. I think we're going to have a case where we had a Martinsburg lineman continuing to play downfield even after losing his helmet. Nolan Kaufman coming to the near sideline did not have his helmet on. Let's see how this play gets handled. There's a nifty run for Kevon Warren. 49.6 seconds left in the half. Now let's see what is going to happen. Yep, illegal participation for Martinsburg. Once you lose your helmet, you're supposed to stop. That's hard to do.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, you're asking a teenager out there who's given it his all to stop in that situation, and that is a 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. So it comes from that 38-yard line after the 8-yard gain for Kevon Warren. 2nd down all over again, and it looks like it'll be 2nd and close to 13 as they mark it off.
And that's one of those rules that a lot of players probably aren't thinking about during the course of the play going on.
So Martinsburg on a 2nd and 13, snaps it back to Kevon Warren, rolling here to the near side. He's throwing deep down the near sideline. Wait a minute, did we get a hold? Yes, we did. Hudson Clement going down the field. Frankly, we had no chance to get to that football, but it was Ben Turner who knew he was beat, reached out and grabbed him by the jersey.
That was it. Turner never turned his head around to see that ball was going to sail by about 5 to 8 yards, and all he knew was Hudson Clement had him by a step and try to preserve a touchdown. It'll be a penalty instead of what he thought would probably be a touchdown.
It will be +10 on the hold, so not pass interference, but a holding penalty. 2 penalties unofficially, 12 yards on Spring Valley in this first half, as their only other penalty came on the extra point of Martinsburg, went for about 2 yards. Clock is stopped again, 34.9 seconds left. They will mark that penalty off and move the football back down to that 38-yard line. So that's actually, did they mark that 15 yards?
They did.
They did. So apparently they're calling more of a pass interference penalty. So 2 penalties, 17 yards after that 15-yarder gets marked off. And it's now 1st and 10 from the 38 of Spring Valley. Man in motion, Anthony Smith to the far side, puts 3 receivers out there. Kevon Warren to throw, receiver screen, caught by Dorn Smith. Dorn Smith moving forward inside the 35, mark him to the 33-yard line for a 5-yard gain.
Martinsburg trying to get to the football quick and spike it. We're at 20 seconds left here in the first half.
Ball along the far side, hash mark. They lay it down, and now the snap goes to Kevon Warren up under center, and he quickly spikes it, and the clock stops with 14 ticks to play in our half. That goes down, I believe, as a team incompletion. Does not go against Kevon Warren not trying to complete a pass. And now from the 33-yard line of Spring Valley, 3rd down and 5 coming for Martinsburg.
You think you got to try to get at least half of what you need here to set up what is a manageable shot at the end zone.
Yeah, but you also have to get out of bounds. I have 0 timeouts remaining for the Bulldogs with 14 ticks left. Kevon Warren will have Naeem Kearney to his left side, and now we're going to get a timeout. Spring Valley will burn their final timeout. One more time. We'll take a 1-minute break with 14 seconds left and then come back with Spring Valley holding on to a 1-point lead.
1 minute.
Ollie's VIP Northside Sports Bar and Grill, located on Veronica Drive, Martinsburg, is your Friday night football TV headquarters. Come watch the game indoors or on our party patio out back, featuring plenty of seating, big screen TV, outdoor bar, and fire pit. Order your favorite item from the full menu or try one of their daily specials. Ollie's is open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner. Come meet your friends and make new ones at Ollie's VIP Northside Sports Bar and Grill. Visit our Facebook today.
We've been in a slow-moving educational crisis in West Virginia. Our schools are crumbling, our teachers are struggling. We all see it in our communities. Our Constitution provides a guarantee for a thorough and efficient, free public education. When we brought claims to ensure those objectives were fulfilled in Fayette County, we improved our school system. Our Attorney General must serve as the counsel to our people to ensure this critical objective. I'm Sam Petsong, and I approve this message.
Back once again here at Coburn Field at David M. Walker Stadium. 14 seconds remaining in our first half. 7-6 is the lead for Spring Valley. They scored on an 11-play, 85-yard drive. Martinsburg answered with a 7-play, 58-yard drive. The only difference, the Bulldog extra point was blocked. But now Martinsburg facing a 3rd down and 5 from the 33 of Spring Valley. We'll send Peyton Curry back out there at quarterback. Anthony Smith in motion to the far side, puts 3 receivers out there. It's a deep ball along this near side, looking for Dorn Smith, who had it in his hands and then lost it. Oh, my. I think that was Turner who got a hand in there and was able to strip it away at the last second.
And Dorn Smith wants that one back.
He had his hands on it, had it wrapped up. If it weren't for Turner getting a hand in there, that could have been a touchdown. Instead, from the 33 of Spring Valley, Martinsburg will face a 4th down and 5. And obviously, you're going for the end zone here with 8.4 ticks left in the half.
Expected Spring Valley to have a couple more guys deep. Right
Curry
now, just 3.
has that shotgun snap, throws it deep, looking for Dorn Smith, leaps up into the air, and again that ball is tipped away. Brody Brumfield was back there along with Turner. Brumfield behind him was grabbing and pulling him down at the end of the play. And there's a little conversation at the end between Brumfield and Dorn Smith, who could not come down with it. Turner out in front, helping to knock it away for a second straight play. Well, we have reached the intermission. Well, not quite. 1.1 second left.
And that's a great defensive stop if you're Spring Valley. Again, Martinsburg starting to get a little bit of momentum offensively. Defensively, that defensive line really starting to pick up for Martinsburg. If you're Spring Valley, didn't want to have them score late in the half, then get the football back to start the second half.
1st and 10 from their own 33 as Spring Valley, well, it looks like drop to a knee, and that is exactly what Jack Roy does. And that final second ticks off the clock, and we go into the locker room at the half. What an entertaining first half, low-scoring defensive affair. Limited possessions in that first half for these two teams. And after our first half of play, Spring Valley holds the lead at 7-6. We'll send it back to the studio for a 2-minute timeout, then come back and get into our halftime activities. It is West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10, and tonight on Huntington's 97.9 The River.
If you direct your attention to our north end zone, we would like to take a moment to welcome and celebrate former Bulldog and
An injury at any age can be a game changer, but with walk-in clinics Monday through Saturday, the Marshall Sports Medicine Institute is ready to get you off the bench and back in the game. Marshall Sports Medicine Institute takes care of the herd. Let us take care of you.
If you need to speak with a lawyer about an insurance claim or motor vehicle wreck, at Mansion Ferretti we rely on 100 years of combined personal injury and trial experience to win your case. There is no charge for meeting with us, and there is no fee unless we win. Mansion Ferretti excels because we are local, experienced in our courts, and always working hard to develop the personal relationship with clients that makes a difference. Call us at 304-264-8505 or go to wvjusticelawyers.com. At Mansion Ferretti, it's about seeking justice for you.
Committed to keeping Berkeley County safe. That's Curtis Keller. He's dedicated his life to public service as sheriff, volunteer firefighter, paramedic, captain, police chief, guardsman, and for 30 years, serving as a referee for high school football. Experienced, dedicated, honest, and the best choice for sheriff of Berkeley County. That's Curtis Keller. This November, help re-elect Curtis Keller for sheriff of Berkeley County. Paid for by candidate.
John Purdue never dreamed he'd go to college, let alone become one of the best state treasurers. John Purdue brought back financial integrity and transparency to the treasurer's office. He created the highly successful Smart 529 College Savings Program, and under his watch has returned more than $230 million in unclaimed property. He's created the 457 Retirement Program and WV Able, and his Board of Treasury Investments has the highest rating from Standard & Poor's.
I'm John Purdue, and I've never forgotten that I worked for you.
Looking to buy a home in the Eastern Panhandle? Having trouble getting your house sold? Then call Chris Ross and the Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. A Martinsburg High School graduate, Chris knows the local market, and he's proven it as the #1 real estate team in West Virginia in 2019. Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. Phone 304-579-7349 or go to callchrisross.com. Let's celebrate your real estate milestone together.
An injury at any age can be a game changer, but with walk-in clinics Monday through Saturday, the Marshall Sports Medicine Institute is ready to get you off the bench and back in the game. Marshall Sports Medicine Institute takes care of the herd. Let us take care of you.
If you need to speak with a lawyer about an
Their own 31 down to the Bulldog 27 on that 6th play. Cole Diamond had an opening up the middle, but just as he burst through the hole, a Bulldog apparently got a hold of the arm of the football. It came popping free. Martinsburg recovered, and the Dogs would get their first possession. They started at their own 21, got it out to the 47-yard line before a sack on a 3rd down and 9 brought on the punting unit. They gave it back to Spring Valley, and on their second possession, they started with 4:39 to play in the opening quarter, and Matt, 11 plays later, scored with 11:15 to play in the half. It was a 5-minute, 24-second drive, 11 plays, 85 yards, and it was a 10-yard touchdown run for Brody Brumfield. The senior running back made it 6-0, and the extra point up and good for Isaac Workman made it a 7-0 Spring Valley lead.
Yeah, at that point, you really were going, all right, Martinsburg's defense is in trouble if they don't figure out how to slow down this run, because those first couple of possessions, it was nothing special. It was just Spring Valley lining up, going between the tackles, a lot of really just behind the center. And a good job by their offensive line creating those holes. And a flip switched when we got into that second quarter, and that front seven for Martinsburg has really stepped it up since then.
They have. Offensively, though, have not been able to get it going except for that second drive. With 11:14 to play in the half, Martinsburg would take the ensuing possession after the Spring Valley touchdown, and Martinsburg would get to a 4th down and 7 at the 43 in Spring Valley territory. Jarvis Thurston took the snap, that controlled roll to the right. We thought he was going to punt it away. He thought he saw a hole. Well, he made his own hole as he broke through some tackles and eventually picked up 17 yards, kept the drive going, and on the very next play, it was Naeem Kearney going in from 26 yards out. It capped a 7-play, 58-yard drive in 2 minutes and 12 seconds, but the extra point attempt was blocked. And once again, it's that case where I say, why don't you, reject the penalty? There was a penalty on the extra point. Instead of snapping from the 3-yard line and kicking from the 10, ball goes to the 1.5. The kick comes from the 8. It's a low trajectory, and it ends up getting blocked. And, well, that's the difference in the ball game right now. Spring Valley with a 7-6 lead is neither team able to do anything with their last 2 possessions, a turnover on downs for each, and then a punt as well for Spring Valley. And that is where we stand at the half.
Probably one of the shortest scoring summaries you've given at the half in years.
Absolutely, yeah. Martinsburg typically averaging about 40 points a game in just the first half. All right, as we take our break here on the Mansion Ferretti Law halftime show, we need to get in just a minute or so of the Martinsburg High School Marching Band. They're playing out of the back of the end zone to our left. This little bit of the band brought to you by Panhandle Printing and Design. Whatever your printing needs, hey, you'll hit the right note when you call 304-267-7400 or go to panhandleprintdesign.com. Let's give you a little bit of the marching band.
Across the state at halftime, Musselman 29.
All right, hard to pick up the band from this distance as they've started some announcements over the public address. That quick moment of the band brought to you by Panhandle Printing and Design. All right, we've got a 2-minute and 15-second timeout coming your way. And on the other side of the break, we'll see what else is going on around the Eastern Panhandle and the Mountain State. We're at the half here at Martinsburg with Spring Valley leading 7-6.
Pete Doherty will put Berkeley and Jefferson County first in the state Senate. Doherty has spent 4 decades fighting for our children, seniors, and veterans while keeping the Eastern Panhandle safe from crime. As your senator, Doherty will fight back against the Charleston establishment, assure that police have the funding needed to protect our communities, repair our crumbling infrastructure and high-speed internet, and be a champion for public education. On November 3rd, let's tell Charleston there's a new sheriff in town. Vote Pete Doherty for state Senate.
Prepare for what's next or to plan ahead. We're here. Brown Funeral Home, a legacy of service since 1880.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg offers hand-cut, locally sourced steaks, fresh seafood, and sandwiches with great daily specials like 75-cent wings all day Monday, prime rib on Tuesday, New York strip on Wednesday, and chef specials every Friday and Saturday. Ask for the lunch punch card and have lunch on the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard. And don't forget the Big Apple Lounge on Sater Drive in Inwood.
WVU Medicine encourages you, don't delay your health care. If you've been putting off a critical medical procedure or surgery due to COVID-19, now is the time to reschedule it. Delaying necessary procedures could create additional health problems. WVU Medicine Berkeley Medical Center and Jefferson Medical Center are open for elective and non-elective surgeries and procedures, and both have implemented additional sanitation measures to ensure the safety of our patients and employees. Call your doctor's office today to schedule or reschedule your surgery or procedure with WVU Medicine.
An injury at any age can be a game changer, but with walk-in clinics Monday through Saturday, the Marshall Sports Medicine Institute is ready to get you off the bench and back in the game. Marshall Sports Medicine Institute takes care of the herd. Let us take care of you.
Spring Valley leading the Bulldogs 7-6 at the intermission. Time for our halftime scoreboard show, brought to you by Bricks 27 in downtown Martinsburg. Not fine dining, but fun dining. Open soon for lunch. Find out more at bricks27.com. Matt.
Thank you, sir. Let's take a look at what else is going on around the Eastern Panhandle and around the Mountain State on this, what is a week 3 of high school football in West Virginia. The second best, or at least the one we assumed would be the most competitive in the Panhandle. Spring Mills taking on Jefferson, home game for Spring Mills, and right now they are leading by 2 touchdowns at the half, 21-7 over the Cougars. Musselman in Pennsylvania taking on Hollidaysburg. That game at the half, all Appleman, 36-0. Washington is at Kaiser taking on the Golden Tornadoes, and down in the second quarter by a couple of scores, 28-13. Hedgesville is in the southern part of the state taking on Clay County, a game that was scheduled at the beginning of the week. And right now, Hedgesville, once again, having trouble finding the end zone, 12-0. So still in that one as that game is in the second quarter. Let's take a look at some other games in AAA. Hampshire is up 38-6 over Buchanan Upshur. Hampshire looking for their first win of the year. Brook is at Albert Gallatin in Pennsylvania. That game no score through the first quarter. Greenbrier East is up by 2 touchdowns over Wyoming East, 14-0. Wheeling Park, these same scores, they're up over Huntington, 14-0. Parkersburg is in Ohio taking on Marietta. They're up 14-7 on the road, are the Big Red. And Princeton up 22-0 over Parkersburg South. Lewis County taking on Ripley. That a Lewis County lead in the second quarter, 8-6. AA Bluefield up 7-0 over Woodrow Wilson at the half. Some other quick scores from AA of games of interest. AAA Bridgeport all over Fairmont Seniors. That game actually took place earlier in the week, so this one is a final 44-33. Bridgeport getting the win on the road. Frankfort up 21-0 over Berkeley Springs. Preston taking on Robert C. Byrd, all Robert C. Byrd at home, 21-0. Oak Glen beating John Marshall 27-15. And the 2 lone games of interest in single A, Petersburg over Pocahontas County at the half, 27-12. And Moorfield is up over Tucker County, 44-6. Before we send it to our next commercial break, a couple of quick shout-outs around the state. We have received a message earlier in the day. We have Kevin and Logan Maynard. They are rooting for the Bulldogs from down in Wayne County. So in enemy territory for them, but rooting for the Bulldogs tonight. And high school football going across state lines tonight is no high school football in the state of Maryland this year. We're the Small Town Rentals crew in Southern Maryland watching a marquee matchup here in AAA across the Mountain State. So a couple of quick shout-outs wherever you may be watching the game this evening.
Southern Maryland also home of the
Southern Bulldogs, baby.
The Bulldogs. You spell it a little different.
DAWGS.
There you go. Hey, and we welcome everyone in who has been joining us in the Huntington area through 97.9 The River, thanks to Reeves Kurtner at Kindred Communications. All right, our halftime scores brought to you by Bricks 27 in downtown Martinsburg. Hey, not fine dining, but fun dining. Find out more at bricks27.com. We'll come back with our first half stats after another 2-minute, 15-second timeout. Again here at Martinsburg, it is Spring Valley leading the Bulldogs 7-6.
Where do you turn when an emergency hits your home? Call Blue Ridge Property Restore in Martinsburg. They offer 24-hour emergency service with certified experts who can clean up water damage, mold infestations, fire damage, and biohazards. They'll work with your insurance company to get it done right. So call Blue Ridge Property Restore at 304-262-8100 and get back from disaster faster.
My name is Marshall Wilson. I'm the only independent serving in the West Virginia legislature, and I'm running for governor to uphold and defend the Constitution of the state of West Virginia and of the United States, because I want my children to raise their children in a free, just, prosperous, and secure land. If my children have that opportunity, yours will also. Look us up at marshallforwv.com. Please vote S. Marshall Wilson for governor. Thank you very much.
Write in S. Marshall Wilson for governor. Paid for by Marshall for WV.
Do things ever get a little chilly at home? It happens. The air at home is a bit nippy. You climb into bed at night, gee whiz, feels a bit cool, even downright cold. Hi, I'm Lori from Bechtel Jewelers. We have a special insurance policy to prevent those chilly times. It's called our warm bed insurance. Our policies come inside a little jewelry box from Bechtel Jewelers, and when she opens it, things feel downright warm. So stop by Bechtel Jewelers, Route 11 South, Inwood for your policy.
An injury at any age can be a game changer. But with walk-in clinics Monday through Saturday, the Marshall Sports Medicine Institute is ready to get you off the bench and back in the game. Marshall Sports Medicine Institute takes care of the herd. Let us take care of you.
High School, time to take a look at our first half numbers. They're a service of Dobson and Associates PLLC, providing all of your back office needs, including accounting, payroll, and human resources. Hey, they want to be your back office. Give them a call at 304-264-0437 or stop by 217 West Burke Street in Martinsburg. All right, Matt, where do you want to begin?
I'll leave that up to you.
All right, let's go with.
I was going to say.
Let's go with the visitors.
Wasn't expecting you to throw it to me there.
Spring Valley offense. You're not going to believe these totals. Are you ready? 25 plays, 131 total yards. All right? For Martinsburg, 29 plays, actually 142 yards. The Dogs have about 12 more yards in this first half than Spring Valley, and you wouldn't think it the way that it's played out. Would you really?
I mean, it's been a tale of two quarters. Again, that Martinsburg defense stepped up in that second quarter, and that was when the offense really started to get things moving. That doesn't surprise me at all.
Well, each team has had a pretty good drive in which they've threatened a little bit but have not been able to come up with points. Let's go back to Spring Valley. Of their 131 yards, all rushing. They are 0 for 2 passing the football, including the second pass attempt on a high snap over the head of the quarterback/punter who just had to throw it away. Otherwise, looking at the team totals, 0 for 1 on fourth down conversions, 2 of 4 on third down conversions. I've got Spring Valley with 7 first downs, no turnovers, and 2 penalties for 17 yards. Individually, Jack Roy, we mentioned 0 for 2 passing, 2 carries for 15 yards, 11 carries, 63 yards for Cole Diamond. He has been leading the way, but 8 carries for 44 yards, including a 10-yard touchdown run for Brody Brumfield is what has them on top. There was 1 carry for 11 yards for Jace Caldwell. Now for Martinsburg, of their 142 yards, 57 passing and 85 rushing yards. As a team, 2 of 6 on third down conversions, 1 of 3 on fourth down. They likewise have 7 first downs and no turnovers, but have committed 4 penalties for 43 yards. Individually, 5 of 12 passing for 52 yards for Peyton Curry, 1 of 1 passing for 5 yards for Kevon Warren. Warren has 6 carries for 55 yards. 3 carries for -9, including a couple of sacks for Peyton Curry. 4 carries, 32 yards, including a 26-yard touchdown run for Naeem Kearney. 2 carries for 11 yards for Jarvis Thurston. His first carry went for -6. That second carry on the fake punt picked up 17 on the no, yes. Good play. 1 carry, -4 yards in the first half for Anthony Smith. They've gotten him involved with a reception for 27 yards, but outside of that, Dorn Smith has a catch for 2, a catch for 7 yards for, Naeem Kearney out of the backfield, and a catch for 12 yards. That one going to Hudson Clements. There was a grab for 4 yards for Jarvis Thurston, so the ball has been spread around, but not a great completion percentage in this first half for Martinsburg. So there you go. Some of the numbers from our first half, and those stats are brought to you by Dobson and Associates, PLLC, providing accounting, payroll, bill pay, human resources, and IT services. They want to be your back office. Phone 304-264-0437. Spring Valley back out on the field. Martinsburg getting ready to come back out on the field, meaning we're getting ready for our second half kick. We've got one more timeout to take, another 2 minutes and 15 seconds, and then we will return. And when we come back, we will get into the second half of action. Martinsburg will get it to start the second half. We'll see what Matt is thinking on the other side of this break. We're at the intermission, and your score, Spring Valley 7, Martinsburg 6.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
Erie Insurance.
This is Eddie Gokenai, Republican candidate for Berkeley County Council. I have the necessary leadership skills to move us forward, and I'm asking for your vote on November the 3rd general election. Now for tonight, I want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy high school football in Berkeley County. This is Eddie Gokenai wishing all the best to the area teams, coaches, players, families, and the fans. Be safe and bring home a win.
Elect Republican Eddie Gokenauer to the Berkeley County Council November 3rd. Paid for by candidate.
John Purdue never dreamed he'd go to college, let alone become one of the best state treasurers. John Purdue brought back financial integrity and transparency to the treasurer's office. He created the highly successful Smart 529 College Savings Program, and under his watch has returned more than $230 million in unclaimed property. He's created the 457 Retirement Program and WV Able, and his Board of Treasury Investments has the highest rating from Standard & Poor's.
I'm John Purdue, and I've never forgotten that I worked for you.
Remember that last trip to the auto mechanic?
I also think your solenoid gasket is bad.
What?
Yep, that'll be another $500.
Forget that and go to D&N Auto Specialist at 230 Tavern Road, Martinsburg, where honesty is their best policy. Serving the Eastern Panhandle since 1974, D&N Auto is family-owned and operated, specializing in exhaust alignments and tires. From general maintenance to major overhauls, they'll treat you right. Call D&N Auto Specialist at 304-267-4078.
An injury at any age can be a game changer, but with walk-in clinics Monday through Saturday, the Marshall Sports Medicine Institute is ready to get you off the bench and back in the game. Marshall Sports Medicine Institute takes care of the herd. Let us take care of you.
Back at Coburn Field at David M. Walker Stadium, Matt Miller along with Matt Crawford, John Alderton running our main camera, Ella Joseph our sideline camera, Kira Anderson our on-site producer, with Donald Kenny our studio engineer. We thank each member of our broadcast team, as well as Reeves Kurtner with Kindred Communications, and we welcome those joining us at 97.9 The River as we bring this game down to the Huntington area as well. A beautiful fall evening up here in the Eastern Panhandle. Not sure what the weather is like in the southern part of the state, but we got a pretty stiff breeze that is blowing with a temperature of about 64 degrees. And it's chilly.
Yeah, if John Alderson upstairs had any hair left on top of that head, I think it'd blow off by now.
Well, Martinsburg will get the football to start the second half. And, Matt, that's where we want your thoughts. They've moved the football on their last possession, obviously right before the half. They got good field position, but could not keep it going from the midfield stripe as they were really up against it with no timeouts left. What do you expect out of the Bulldogs in this possession?
I expect them to go down the field and score. They're very good at the halftime adjustments. We've seen that offensively throughout the years, and I expect nothing different here. We'll see whether it's a deep kick. I don't expect it. I expect another short kick, but for the Dogs, I expect them to go down the field here and score, or at least put together a good drive that gets them deep into enemy territory.
Isaac Workman on his only kick of the first half after the touchdown popped it up in between the front line and the second line on that far side of the field where Kevon Warren is waiting. Be careful. He's dangerous if he can get that football and break through the initial line. Right now, as Workman sets the ball on the tee, he's angling towards that far side like he's going to pop it up there again. He approaches, There is that kick, high kick. Kevon Warren's going to take it at the 34-yard line, and he falls forward to about the 36. I don't think he brought that one in cleanly, which is why he fell down.
Smart play. Again, you don't want to shift the momentum that quickly in the second half, so a smart play. Make sure you hold on to the football.
From our vantage point, could you see him bobble that just a little bit?
It looked like it slipped a little bit as he was coming down with it. So I'm not sure more of a bobble as it was just kind of coming through the seam.
So from their own 35, Martinsburg football, ball's on the far side, hash mark. They'll move from left to right here in quarter number 3, which is presented by Ollie's VIP Sports Lounge on Eagle School Road in Martinsburg, and Natalie Tennant, Democrat candidate for West Virginia Secretary of State. Peyton Curry out of the shotgun, has Naeem Kearney to his right side, brings a man in motion to the near side. It's a quick pitch, and Kearney trying to turn the corner on this near side, outside the numbers to the 38-yard line and taken out there by Cole Diamond. Man, you see why he tied for the leading tackler last year for this team.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was a great pursuit by the defense for Spring Valley. Again, nobody really lunged at the ball carrier right there. It was more of just kind of hurting him towards the sideline, and that's what you got to do with this speed. If you try to lunge, we saw that in the first half, they end up just hesitating just enough and turning that corner. So a good job, again, just kind of forcing him to go out of bounds with nowhere else to go.
That's it. String that play to the sideline. Don't give him a cutback lane, and they hold him to just 3 yards. 2nd down and 7. Football at their own 38. Curry out of the gun, takes that snap, hands it off. Naeem Kearney, nice opening up the middle of the field. He's to the midfield, strike grab from behind, wrestles his way forward down to the 45-yard line of Spring Valley. Good job at that front line.
Yeah, that front line, the interior line, opening up a huge hole right in the middle. Not easy guys to move with that defensive line of Spring Valley, but the big men in the trenches from Martinsburg making it look easy right there.
17 yards on that carry. Now 5 carries, 52 yards in the ballgame for Naeem Kearney. Martinsburg picks up their 8th first down of the night. And from the 45-yard line in Timberwolves territory, 1st and 10 for the Dogs. Curry out of the gun, 3 receivers out to the left, hands it off to Naeem Kearney, started right, cuts back to his left, grabbed in the backfield, and down he goes. What a great play by Matthew Hall. He's a junior, 5'10", 189, and the defensive back got him up around the shoulder pads and just would not let go. Eventually brings him down for a loss of 2.
Christian Slack was a pulling guard there. Looked like that was where the play was intended, but Spring Valley, just too many helmets around the football, having to cut back on that play where it was not intended. Again, good job just getting hats to the football for the Timberwolves.
2nd down and 12. Dogs with 3 receivers now to this wide side right. Out of the shotgun, Curry takes that snap, hands it off. That is Braxton Todd now out there, and Todd able to break through some tackles, dragging guys ahead, spins inside the 35, mark him all the way down to the 33-yard line.
Well, man, remember last game, Braxton Todd coming in late in that second half, those fresh legs, and he is ready to run the football. It was a long run, got into the end zone against Musselman, and see a similar result right there. Again, just fresh legs and run it quick.
Well, and here we go again as Braxton Todd will get it, turning the corner on this right side. He got to the numbers inside the 30 and marked his progress down to just about the 27-yard line. So a 14-yard gain on that last play, and he'll pick up about 7 more here.
Gain of 7.
So 2nd down and 3 for the Bulldogs. They scrimmaged that last play from the 33-yard line. They'll scrimmage this one from about the 26. On 2nd down, hand off to Braxton Todd. No, the quarterback keeps it and right up the middle. He breaks the tackle at the 15, cutting to the outside at the 10. Lost the football. It's free. And let's see, will it be recovered inbounds or out of bounds? No, it ended up, yes, recovered by Spring Valley. Oh, what a job to keep it inbounds by Jace Caldwell and pick it up with the football at the 8-yard line.
I don't know how Caldwell knew where the football was. He was in the middle of trying to make that tackle. All of a sudden, he turns around, just reaches that arm out, and somehow keeps it in bounds. It looked like he lost possession of it again, but maybe they're saying he had possession, then lost it back out of bounds, meaning it would still be Spring Valley football. But it certainly looked like it went back out of bounds, so they must have said that he had already gained possession before it went back out of bounds. But a big break for that Spring Valley defense.
Absolutely.
On what was a great run by Peyton Curry.
I was going to say a turnover for the Bulldogs. And with 9:49 to play in quarter number 3, Spring Valley takes over at their own 8-yard line on 1st down and 10. Handoff going to the fullback and no place to go. Diamond running to his right. We'll get to the 10-yard line, so he does pick up 2.
And we've now seen a fumble for each team stop what looked like it was going to be a touchdown drive. And Spring Valley, you asked me the keys to Martinsburg as we were getting ready for that second half kick. For Spring Valley, I think Martinsburg has figured out their base offense. I'm looking for them to dig deep into that playbook and get a little more creative with some of these play calls here in the second half, because right now, going between the tackles, the Dogs have figured that out.
2nd down and 8 from the 10, and Jack Roy out from under center. Gives that quick hitter again to Diamond, and the big fullback met right in the hole after a pickup of maybe a yard out to the 11-yard line. It'll be 3rd. We'll call it 7 coming up. Diamond up to 13 carries, 66 yards. In that first half, 2 of 4 on 3rd down conversions for Spring Valley. And thank you for picking up. I mismarked my stat sheet. I mentioned no turnovers in the first half during our halftime numbers. Spring Valley did have that fumble on the opening possession.
That's what I'm here for, man.
Thank you. Each team now, as you say, with that 1 turnover. Big defensive play coming now for Martinsburg. 3rd and 7 from their own 11 for Spring Valley. Moving from right to left. Backfield behind the quarterback this time. Hand off to the deep man, and that is, let's see, it looks like the number 1, and it is Brody Brumfield, who followed his block through the hole and got out over top of the right side of the line beyond the 20 to about the 22-yard line. He's got 11 yards and a first down.
Man, there was no question where that football was going. Every helmet on the field going towards that far sideline, and just a great job by the right guard, right tackle, and those blocking backs and those blocking receivers on the far side for Spring Valley, opening up just enough of a hole then in the backfield, using a little bit of a cutback lane and giving Spring Valley some room here to work.
They'll pick up their 8th first down now, 1st and 10 from their own 22, out of the shadow of their own goal line. The handoff goes to Diamond. This time the big fella looks to get around the corner on the right side and fights his way forward. He was between the hash marks and the numbers on that far side and was able to bang and keep the legs churning and move to about the, 27.
Yeah, he was able to turn what looked like it was going to be a stop at the line of scrimmage, turn it into half of what they need for a first down.
And right now, that clock continuing to move. 7:24 to play in the 3rd quarter.
Don't blink.
No, not at all. It's been a quick one. Although, well, there's some wood to knock on right now. 2nd down and 5 from their own 27. Man in motion, and the handoff goes to him. Coming here to the near side. Big hit just beyond the 30 at the 33. Caldwell gets taken down, and that may be our Cody's Body Shop collision of the game.
Number 10,
so Caldwell, who had a gain of 11 on a run like that back in the first half, able to pick up, out to the 33, a gain of 6 yards. So he gets that first down. 9 of them on the game, 2 of them on this possession. They've come out from the shadow of their own goal line, which was their own 8 after the fumble recovery. From their own 33 on a 1st and 10. Roy will have that backfield behind him again. Out from under center, hands it off. That is Brumfield coming near side. Jarvis Thurston able to grab him. Gets some help on the tackle at the 39-yard line, but again, that's 6 more yards on that gain.
Yeah, Jarvis Thurston, the first one there. Anthony Smith right behind, and Thurston went for a ride of about 3 yards, and Anthony Smith coming in to lay the decisive blow to get him down, but again, just kept the feet running, and you're seeing the power running and what makes Spring Valley so good. Another good drive, and the way they're methodically moving the football right now and looking at that clock, how deep they started in their own end. This has the opportunity to be a very long drive, and a drive that can really wear down that Martinsburg defense.
I was going to say a back-breaking type of drive. Man in motion, Caldwell coming near side, takes that handoff again, turns the corner on this near sideline, gets out of bounds as he's taken down at the 48 in Martinsburg territory, and Caldwell has another first down.
And Spring Valley starting to mix more of those sweep plays in as the second half has gone on. Able to turn the corner a little bit there was Caldwell. Did a good job, again, following those blockers. A couple of good lead blockers out in front of him.
He's got 30 yards on 3 carries after that gain of 13. They've had some success bringing Caldwell in motion, giving him the football. The lineup here with a very tight formation. Caldwell a tight wing to that far side with an backfield, no receivers out. Handoff going to the deep man in that and that is Brumfield on the carry, but this time it is Zane Brumfield, the 6'4", 215-pound senior. He follows that lead block down to the Martinsburg 42 for a pickup of 6.
Got upended on that tackle, did a full flip in the air.
First time we have seen Zane Brumfield.
At under 5 now to go in the third quarter. Right now, Spring Valley moving the ball methodically and just taking precious seconds off that clock.
Zane Brumfield again on the carry, manages to get forward to about the 40. Nice job that time by that Bulldog defensive front to help hold that line of scrimmage. A gain of just 2. I think this is a big 3rd down and 2 coming up. Might be a 3rd and 4th down and 2.
Oh, easily. Yeah, you only got to get 2 yards the way that this offense works.
Unless you lose yards here.
Yeah, even if you only lose 1, I think this may still be 4 down territory. The way this offense is going to line up and run it right at you would not shock me if this was 4 down territory in the least.
Brody Brumfield back out there as the deep man in the eye, and before the snap of the football, timeout Spring Valley. We take a 90-second break with 4:12 to play in the third, and Spring Valley leading 7-6.
I'm Riley Moore. I'm going to make the treasurer's office work for you.
Moore will start a blue-collar saving program to buy tools and equipment, which will jumpstart our economy. While Moore wants term limits, his opponent has been in office for nearly 30 years. Riley Moore is the only candidate for treasurer who supports President Trump.
I'm Riley Moore, and we would be honored to have your vote for state treasurer.
Paid for by Moore for West Virginia. Treasurer, R.J. Moore III.
If you need to speak with a lawyer about an insurance claim or motor vehicle wreck, at Mansion Ferretti we rely on 100 years of combined personal injury and trial experience to win your case. There is no charge for meeting with us, and there is no fee unless we win. Mansion Ferretti excels because we are local, experienced in our courts, and always working hard to develop the personal relationship with clients that makes a difference. Call us at 304-264-8505 or go to wvjusticelawyers.com. At Mansion Ferretti, it's about seeking justice for you.
You need to keep your vehicle in good working order, but car and truck repairs can be very costly. Bears Repair in Martinsburg performs all kinds of auto repairs at prices most often well below their competition. Bears Repair offers tune-ups, oil change and lubrication, small and large engine and transmission repair, wheel balancing, front end alignment, exhaust system replacement, air conditioning checks, auto inspections, and new tires. Stop by for a free estimate at Bears Repair, 904 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg, phone 262-0208. Bears Repair.
Virginia Attorney General Sam Petzonk out of the timeout, eye backfield behind the quarterback on that 3rd down and 2. He goes to Brumfield, deep man in the eye, and he's got the first down following that lead blocker and a good push by the offensive line down to the Martinsburg 36-yard line. 4 yards on the game. 11 carries, 65 yards for Brody Brumfield. 4 first downs in the possession, 11 in the ball game, and now 4 of 6 on 3rd down conversions. 11th play of this possession coming that started at their own 8 for Spring Valley.
What time did this possession start?
9:49 to play in the third.
So we're 6 minutes into this drive right now.
Yep, that's what this team can do to you. Roy up under center, hands it off. It's Caldwell coming in motion here to the near side and gets wrapped up by Anthony Smith and brought down at the 31, it looks like, but still a gain of 5 yards. And, Matt, here we go again on first downs. A gain of only 2 the first time, but then a gain of 5, a gain of 6, a gain of 6, and now this another gain of 5.
And what makes this offense so powerful is you don't think that play's going anywhere. And the big running backs and the big offensive linemen clear just enough, and all of a sudden it's 5 yards. That play didn't look like, okay, he probably got a yard or 2. Then you see the sticks. Nope, that was 5 yards.
5, yes, and now it brings up a 2nd down and 5. Tight wing to the right, tight slot to the left. Empty backfield behind the quarterback, man in motion near side, and they'll give the scissors handoff in the backfield, and that is Cole Diamond on the carry. Moving to his right along the near side, hash marks. We'll get to that Martinsburg 27-yard line. That gain is good for 4 and will bring up a 3rd and 1.
Yeah, that left guard pulled, and as a defensive lineman, you got to watch where that guard's going. The pulling guard's going to take you to the football. 2 black uniforms in the backfield, and they both froze a little bit on what was the crisscross on that handoff.
3rd and 1 from that 27 of the Bulldogs. Ball on the near side, hash mark. The small Martinsburg crowd on hand here trying to get that defense to make a play, and they may have as the handoff went to Brody Brumfield. Football's free, and the football at the 24-yard line may have been recovered by Spring Valley, and it was the tight end able to get on it. Corbin Page keeps it for the Timberwolves.
I think every Spring Valley fan watching or here in attendance right now just had their hearts skip a beat. Could this be another good drive that is going to end in a fumble in what would have been a very similar spot of the field? Flipped the field, and it was almost identical field position that on that first possession. That fumble was lost, but Spring Valley able to hold on to the football. And how about a fresh set of downs as we're under 2 minutes to go here in quarter number 3.
14th play of the possession coming up. Roy out from under center, hands it off. That is Zane Brumfield back out there off the right side of the line. He gets through a little opening, powers his way forward. He's down inside the 15 and taken down at about the 13-yard line. Oh, boy, big run.
Will it be enough for the first down? That football right at about where that first down marker is.
Yeah, they do set it down at the 14. That's a gain of 10, and yep, will be a first down.
Yeah, I wasn't sure whether they're going to say it was going to be 2nd and inches.
Boy, they are up to 13 first downs in the ballgame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them in this possession. First down and 10 from the Bulldog 14-yard line.
I'm no mathematician, but that's about half.
Yeah. Here we go. I backfield behind the quarterback. Roy hands it off. Zane Brumfield running to his right, gets wrestled down after a very short gain. Nice job on that outside edge. It looks like Dorn Smith who stepped up to wrap him up and bring him down. They do set it down at the 13, so we'll call it a gain of 1. Second down about 9 from that Bulldog 13. I mean, think about it. Martinsburg moving the football. Peyton Curry with a big run. If the Dogs punch that in and take the lead, how different could this ball game be?
Instead, 9 minutes later.
Yeah.
Spring Valley still with the football. And looks like they're, unless they punch it in here or an incomplete pass, certainly looks like they're going to take the football into the fourth quarter.
Roy out from under center, hands it off. Caldwell coming in motion to the near side, gets inside the 5-yard line and gets taken down at about the 2. May have been a touchdown saving tackle for Isaac Levy, the 5'9" senior. They do set it down at the 2-yard line, and they have had success with that play, especially here in this opening drive of the second half.
And Matt, the question that I was going to ask is answered right now, but I was going to say, you got the momentum right now. Do you just try to punch it in, or do you let that clock run? And that is what Spring Valley is going to do. This is one of the most impressive high school football drives I've seen in a very long time, just running the football.
All right, we'll head to quarter number 4 after this 90-second break. It remains a Spring Valley 7, Martinsburg 6.
Committed to keeping Berkeley County safe. That's Curtis Keller. He's dedicated his life to public service as sheriff, volunteer firefighter, paramedic, captain, police chief, guardsman, and for 30 years, serving as a referee for high school football. Experienced, dedicated, honest, and the best choice for sheriff of Berkeley County. That's Curtis Keller. This November, help re-elect Curtis Keller for sheriff of Berkeley County. Paid for by candidate.
WVU Medicine encourages you, don't delay your health care. If you've been putting off a critical medical procedure or surgery due to COVID-19, now is the time to reschedule it. Delaying necessary procedures could create additional health problems. WVU Medicine Berkeley Medical Center and Jefferson Medical Center are open for elective and non-elective surgeries and procedures, and both have implemented additional sanitation measures to ensure the safety of our patients and employees. Call your doctor's office today to schedule or reschedule your surgery or procedure with WVU Medicine.
This November, be a part of change and help elect Tony Petrucci to the Berkeley County Council.
With my experience and conservative background, I feel I can serve the people well. I have maintained a very conservative and practical approach to handle the county. To put it plainly, I want the county to be prosperous and its citizens healthy and safe.
Tony's first term was described as leaving behind a reputation of fairness and fiscal responsibility. And when you vote Petrucci, you're voting for fiscal responsibility, health and safety, citizen involvement, and economic growth. This November, vote Tony Petrucci. Paid for by candidate.
Yard line, Roy out from under center, turns, hands it off, and the play is whistled dead. We have a penalty marker down, offside Martinsburg. Move it down to the 1-yard line where it will again be first and goal. 5 penalties, 44 yards on Martinsburg here in this one, their first of the second half. Spring Valley will break the huddle ball on the far side, hash mark. Roy is going to have Diamond to his right in a split backfield. Brody Brumfeld to his left. Should say Brumfield. There's the handoff, and it is Diamond off the left side of the line, walks into the end zone completely untouched.
Yeah, that left side of the offensive line, you could have driven a truck through the hole they just opened, untouched, into the end zone. And what a drive for Spring Valley.
Diamond hitting pay dirt, looks like for the first time this season. And that came on the 17th play of the possession. Wow. 92 yards it covers, and with 6 seconds gone on this fourth quarter clock, that drive took 9 minutes and 55 seconds.
It's almost a quarter of football.
With a 13-6 lead, they're going to line up and go for the 2-point conversion. Again, that split backfield behind Jack Roy. Takes that snap, hands it off. Diamond again off the left side, and again, that opening is there. Didn't get met until the goal line. Fights through the would-be tackle, and the 2-point conversion makes it 14-6. Spring Valley with the lead. Don't go away. A 90-second break with 11:54 to play in this one. Again, Spring Valley 15 and Martinsburg 6.
Our dad taught us a lot about the law, but he taught us even more about life and people.
He taught us to treat clients like family. At the Skinner Law Firm, the firm our father started here in the Eastern Panhandle, we still believe that.
We also believe that everyone has the right to be protected from those who don't play by the rules.
We believe it's about helping people. Call us at the Skinner Law Firm, where we treat you like family.
Ollie's VIP Northside Sports Bar and Grill, located on Veronica Drive, Martinsburg, is your Friday night football TV headquarters. Come watch the game indoors or on our party patio out back, featuring plenty of seating, big screen TV, outdoor bar, and fire pit. Order your favorite item from the full menu or try one of their daily specials. Ollie's is open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner. Come meet your friends and make new ones at Ollie's VIP Northside Sports Bar and Grill. Visit our Facebook today.
This November, be a part of change and help elect Tony Petrucci to the Berkeley County Council.
With my experience and conservative background, I feel I can serve the people well. I have maintained a very conservative and practical approach to handle the county. To put it plainly, I want the county to be prosperous and its citizens healthy and safe.
Tony's first term was described as leaving behind a reputation of fairness and fiscal responsibility. And when you vote Petrucci, you're voting for fiscal responsibility, health and safety, citizen involvement, and economic growth. This November, vote Tony Petrucci. Paid for by candidate.
The ensuing kickoff popped up along the far side. Peyton Curry able to bring it in for Martinsburg, and the Dogs will have it at their own 36-yard line. Just their second possession of the second half with 11:53 to play in this one. Drive summary brought to you by Delegate Jason Barrett. Re-elect Jason Barrett in the 61st Delegate District. How about 17 plays, 92 yards, 9 minutes, 55 seconds, a 1-yard touchdown run for Cole Diamond, capping that drive, and the 2-point conversion by Diamond makes it 14-6. Looks like Kevon Warren back out there at quarterback, takes the direct snap, running up the middle of the field, sidesteps a tackler. He's to the 45, to the midfield, stripe along the near side, hash mark to the 40, the 35 and the 30. Hits a foot race down the near sideline, inside the 20, caught from behind as Brody Brumfield had the angle and takes him down on the sideline at the Spring Valley 10.
Well, that's one way to get momentum back. They moved the football very well in that last drive until the turnover. And let's just flip the field real quick. Beautiful run.
54 yards on the first carry of the second half for Kevon Warren, who had 6 carries for 55 yards in the first half. Set it down at the 10-yard line of Spring Valley. First down, goal to go for Martinsburg. Wow. And some nifty running in there.
Yeah, what about 3 different cutbacks?
7 carries, 109 yards, and Kevon Warren goes to the sideline. Peyton Curry back out there. Handoff, Naeem Kearney coming near side. Steps through a tackle in the backfield, gets towards the sideline, cuts back, and then into the end zone for the Martinsburg Bulldog touchdown. Looked like he was going to be taken down after maybe a short gain, but he got through that tackle and then able to plant the leg and cut.
Can you have 2 polar opposite drives back-to-back? 2 plays in the end zone for Martinsburg after what was just under a 10-minute drive to score for Spring Valley. And that epitomizes these 2 football teams.
There it is.
Spring Valley, that was a Spring Valley Timberwolf drive. And that was just a Martinsburg Bulldog drive. That is what they do. That is the bread and butter of both of these teams.
Naeem Kearney, 10 yards on that touchdown run. Martinsburg with the score at 15-12, going for the single-point conversion. Snap, kick, and Romer puts it up and through. So 11:34 remaining in this one. Don't go away. We'll take the 90-second break again. It's 15-13 Spring Valley.
90-second break, 90 seconds.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
Erie Insurance.
This is Eddie Gokenai, Republican candidate for Berkeley County Council. I have the necessary leadership skills to move us forward, and I'm asking for your vote on November the 3rd general election. Now for tonight, I want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy high school football in Berkeley County. This is Eddie Gokenai wishing all the best to the area teams, coaches, players, families, and the fans. Be safe and bring home a win.
Elect Republican Eddie Gokenauer to the Berkeley County Council November 3rd, paid for by candidate.
We've been in a slow-moving educational crisis in West Virginia. Our schools are crumbling, our teachers are struggling. We all see it in our communities. Our Constitution provides a guarantee for a thorough and efficient, free public education. When we brought claims to ensure those objectives were fulfilled in Fayette County, we improved our school system. Our Attorney General must serve as the counsel to our people to ensure this critical objective. I'm Sam Petsong, and I approve this message.
Onside kick along the near side. Football bounces in and out of the hands of a Bulldog. No, he got it. Yes, he did. I believe it's Kai Walker who came down with a football. Kai Walker has it. Martinsburg will be in Spring Valley territory at the 46-yard line. Wait a minute. Now two officials are going to get together. They're going to talk about it. It happened right in front of the Bulldog bench. Martinsburg signaling that they have the football. It went through the hands of one of the Spring Valley players. It looked like Caldwell, number 6, and Kai Walker was grabbing a hold of it. It was right on the sideline, very similar to the fumble down at the 8-yard line on the Bulldogs' first possession of this second half when Peyton Curry lost it and Caldwell kept it from going out of bounds.
Only question right now is, did he have possession before that ball touched out of bounds?
There is still a conversation as to what went on. Spring Valley had a whole host of their players there. They're now going to go to the other side of the field, and they will say that it is Spring Valley football.
Spring Valley football.
So Spring Valley ends up with it. And let's see where they're going to spot it. I'm not sure they have the spot right, do they? They're about to set the football at the 43. Wasn't it at the 46-yard line? Hey, we'll take it, though, as Spring Valley loses 3 yards, I think, in that little exchange. So 10 minutes, 18 seconds remaining in this one.
And Matt, that's what it is right now. They didn't stop that clock. They're going to have to put more time back on as they do now, 10:35.
It was 11:34 when the touchdown occurred. And then you had that last play, which
shouldn't have taken more than 12 seconds.
I was going to say, let's take 10 to 12, so there should be about 11:20. Let's see what they're going to have put back on. Our head referee coming to the sideline to talk with Martinsburg, head coach Britt Sherman in his first year leading the program after a long-time assistant. We're asking what time was the score. It was 11:34. 11:34 was what was on the clock. So we're waiting to see how much time they're going to put back on the clock. Right now, they put it to 10:56. And it looks like that's where they're going to leave it, at 10:56. So it took 30 seconds plus to fight for that loose foot. No, wait, now they put it at 11:38. So Martinsburg gained 4 seconds. So that's not right.
It's what it's going to be. Whether it's right or not, it's what's on the scoreboard right now.
All right, 11:38 to play in this one from their own 43. Handoff, Brumfield hit as he tries to move to his left, driven backwards and taken down. And this Martinsburg defense has come to life. Big stop, Jaden Togans getting in there along with Anthony Smith.
That is another candidate for our Cody's Auto Body collision of the game.
Hey, and don't forget the Orsini's electrifying play of the game. How about that run from Kevon Warren on that last drive?
Yeah, I think that's up there.
Football's out to the 47. Look at that. That was still a 4-yard gain, Matt. You talked about it earlier.
Forward progress and then got pushed back. But, yeah, it certainly didn't look like a 4-yard gain.
Roy out from under center, hands that football off. That is Zane Brumfield who takes it and immediately gets hit and taken down right back at the line of scrimmage. Good pressure that time by the Bulldogs, and a couple of the big fellas down below. Actually, one of the linebackers along with one of the big fellas. That's Zion Watson, who was able to be on the bottom side with Jaden Togans again up top.
And, Matt, credit all the fans here at Coburn. It is a loud crowd for it being about a quarter full because of the COVID rules, but this is a home field feeling right now in the stands. So hats off to the Bulldog fans right now.
3rd down and 6 from their own 47-yard line. Spring Valley football moving from left to right. They'll bring a man in motion. They hand it off to Caldwell, looking to turn the corner on that left side. He gets hit and almost lost the football. Fell over backwards across the midfield stripe, and they'll give him about the 49 of Martinsburg territory, and it will bring up 4th and roughly 2.
You got to go for this here if you're Spring Valley, I think.
Oh, no. At the midfield stripe?
2 yards, the way they have been. 2 yards has been nothing for them today. And the offense is staying on the field. Now watch if you're Martinsburg. They may try to get you on the hard count and then call a timeout, but the way they've been moving the ball offensively and running the football, I think they believe they can get 2 yards right here.
They were 0 for 1 on 4th downs back in that first half. On 4th down and 2 from the Bulldog 49. Roy turns, hands it off. Diamond off the left side of the line has the first down. Able to get outside the tackle box to the 45, to the 46, and now we have a very late flag that comes down. Unsportsmanlike conduct, but we didn't see who it's against. Dead ball, personal foul. It will go against Spring Valley at the end of the play, but it's a dead ball penalty.
Yeah, the first down counts.
Yeah, Diamond got down to the 44.
Yep.
So Diamond ended up picking up 5 yards, gets that first down, which will be the 16th of the ball game. They do convert on the 4th down, but then they lose the 15 yards at the end of the play. Clock at 9:23 to play in this one, and it's a 15-13 Spring Valley lead. Has a first penalty the second half on Spring Valley. 3 penalties for 32 yards on Spring Valley.
And talk about having faith in your offense. Keep them out there. Big point in the game. Hey, guys, go get me 2 yards. Coach Dingus showing a lot of faith in the Timberwolf offense right there, and it paid off.
1st and 10 from their own 41. Roy turns, hands. That is Diamond off the left side of the line. Back out beyond that 45. Lunging forward. Will it be the 46 or the 47 as they spot it? Again, a first down carry where they pick up about 5 yards as they set it at the 46. They've done it all night. 17, make that 18 carries for roughly 86 yards.
And if you're Martinsburg, I know still plenty of time left in this game, 8:30, but you got to get the football back here. You can't allow another long drive leading to a touchdown because you're still playing the catch-up game here. 1 touchdown isn't putting you back up in the lead.
Matt, those numbers I gave you were for Cole Diamond. He has been the workhorse tonight, and they're going to hand him the football again. Looking for room to his left, finds a little cutback lane. Gets to the midfield stripe and actually to the Martinsburg 49, and he may have another first down. Clock continuing to move as we are down to 8:09.
Looks about a half-yard short, Matt. It will be 3rd down. 3rd down and about half a yard, about 1.5 feet.
So the ball right at the midfield stripe. 5 of 8 on 3rd down conversions in this one for Spring Valley. 90 yards on 19 carries for Cole Diamond. Does he get the ball again? Jack Roy, the big quarterback, up under center.
I'm doing a quarterback sneak here if I'm Spring Valley. You got to get just a couple of inches.
Nope, they're going to hand it off, and Diamond's going to get that first down. Hudson Clement able to get in and take his legs out from underneath of him, but he falls forward to the 46-yard line of Martinsburg, another 4-yard gain. 17 first downs, 6 of 9 on third down conversions, 20 carries, 94 yards for Diamond. Wow, 8th play of this possession coming up from that Bulldog 46-yard line. This is only the second possession of the second half for Spring Valley, folks. 7:14 to play.
When you take just under 10 minutes for your last drive, doesn't leave much time for any other drives.
It doesn't. On first down and 10. Roy out from under center. Gives that handoff again. I believe that's Diamond. Works off the right side of the line this time and picks up 6 yards down to the 40. Tell you what, he is going to sleep well on the drive back.
And Diamond just putting that shoulder down and gaining those extra yards. Is Martinsburg going to call a timeout here, Matt?
All right, so Martinsburg calls a timeout. We'll take the 90-second break as well. 6:49 to play in this one, and your score, Spring Valley 15, Martinsburg 13.
90-second break, 90-second break.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
Erie Insurance.
This is Eddie Gokenai, Republican candidate for Berkeley County Council. I have the necessary leadership skills to move us forward, and I'm asking for your vote on November the 3rd general election. Now for tonight, I want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy high school football in Berkeley County. This is Eddie Gokenai wishing all the best to the area teams, coaches, players, families, and the fans. Be safe and bring home a win.
Elect Republican Eddie Gokenauer to the Berkeley County Council November 3rd. Paid for by candidate.
We've been in a slow-moving educational crisis in West Virginia. Our schools are crumbling. Our teachers are struggling. We all see it in our communities. Our Constitution provides a guarantee for a thorough and efficient, free public education. When we brought claims to ensure those objectives were fulfilled in Fayette County, we improved our school system. Our Attorney General must serve as the counsel to our people to ensure this critical objective. I'm Sam Petsong, and I approve this message.
Timeout, the pitch in the backfield goes to Brody Brumfield. Brumfield cutting to his left, caught by his ankles in the backfield and dropped by Hudson Clement, the blitzing linebacker.
Hudson Clement going about 1,000,000 miles an hour into the backfield, and he was going to lay it. He was either going to miss by an inch right there, or he was going to make the tackle, able to get him by the ankle. Great play by Clement.
That'll be a loss of 4, and will bring up a 3rd down and 8. 10th play of the possession coming from the Bulldog 44-yard line. 6:13 on a running fourth quarter clock. Up under center again is Jack Roy. Single set behind him is Diamond. Roy's got that snap, hands it off. Diamond to his left and will scamper forward. He stumbled, and let's see where they say the knee came down at the 41-yard line, so he picked up 3 yards, and it'll be a 4th down and 5. What do you do here? 6 of 10 on 3rd down conversions, 1 of 2 on 4th down conversions. And from the 41 of Martinsburg, it looks like Spring Valley may go for it on a 4th down and 5. 22 carries, 103 yards for Cole Diamond. Down to 5:18 to play in this one. Matt, this could be the ball game right here.
Yeah, if they get a first down here, it is going to be awfully tough for Martinsburg.
Split backfield behind Jack Roy, who now looks to the sideline, and Spring Valley's going to call a timeout. We'll take the 90-second break as well. 5:06 remaining in this one. 15-13, Spring Valley on top.
90-second break, 90-second break.
Our dad taught us a lot about the law, but he taught us even more about life and people. He taught us to treat clients like family. At the Skinner Law Firm, the firm our father started here in the Eastern Panhandle, we still believe that.
We also believe that everyone has the right to be protected from those who don't play by the rules.
We believe it's about helping people. Call us at the Skinner Law Firm, where we treat you like family.
Committed to keeping Berkeley County safe. That's Curtis Keller. He's dedicated his life to public service as sheriff, volunteer firefighter, paramedic, captain, police chief, guardsman, and for 30 years, serving as a referee for high school football. Experienced, dedicated, honest, and the best choice for sheriff of Berkeley County. That's Curtis Keller. This November, help re-elect Curtis Keller for sheriff of Berkeley County. Paid for by candidate.
Where do you turn when an emergency hits your home? Call Blue Ridge Property Restore in Martinsburg. They offer 24-hour emergency service with certified experts who can clean up water damage, mold infestations, fire damage, and biohazards. They'll work with your insurance company to get it done right. So call Blue Ridge Property Restore at 304-262-8100 and get back from disaster faster.
Of Martinsburg with 5:06 left. This could be the ball game. Jack Roy out from under center. Little play action pass. Wide open down the field. He has his man. Caldwell at the 20 to the 15, far side 10. Forced out of bounds by Jarvis Thurston. Let's see where they spot it. It looks like the 5-yard line. Make it the 7.
You wondered when that play was going to happen. You run the football that much. At some point, you're going to have to throw a play action in there, and Roy did a fantastic job of selling that play action pass. Kind of took a half second and just did nothing as if he handed the football off. And a good backdoor route wide open, and that one hurts.
34 yards on the pass completion. First down, goal to go from the 7 of Martinsburg. 4:58 on a stopped clock as that last play ended up going out of bounds. Roy up under center, turns, hands it off the left side of the line. That's Diamond to the goal line, and he's in. It's a touchdown. May not be the worst thing in that situation.
No, I think the quicker they score, the quicker Martinsburg gets the football back, the better for the Dogs. Obviously not an ideal situation right now, under 5 to go, and you're down by 2 possessions.
Well, they almost got the onside kick on that last
You're going to need
kick,
one.
so you've got to score quickly and hope for the best. Wow, 23 carries, 110 yards for Brumfield and, not Brumfield, for Cole Diamond, including a couple of second-half touchdown runs.
This is a big extra point right here, too.
PAT for Isaac Workman. Snap is back, placement and the kick. It is up, and it is good. So with 4:54 remaining in this one, we'll take another 90-second break and then be back. Spring Valley leading Martinsburg 22-13.
90-second break, 90 seconds.
An injury at any age can be a game changer. But with walk-in clinics Monday through Saturday, the Marshall Sports Medicine Institute is ready to get you off the bench and back in the game. Marshall Sports Medicine Institute takes care of the herd. Let us take care of you.
You were a little kid and saw your first deer.
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilston Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
McCrae is dedicated to protecting our employees and you, our customers, as we provide our communities essential heating, cooling, and indoor air quality needs during these trying times. Take advantage of McCrae's exclusive offer. Purchase a new Train high-efficiency system and receive a $1,000 instant rebate plus 0% interest financing for 48 months on qualifying products. Hurry, this offer won't last. Visit McCraeWay.com/TV today to learn more. It's hard to stop a train.
An injury at any age can be a game changer. But with walk-in clinics Monday through Saturday, the Marshall Sports Medicine Institute is ready to get you off the bench and back in the game. Marshall Sports Medicine Institute takes care of the herd. Let us take care of you. An injury at any age can be a game changer. But with
Jason Barrett in the 61st Delegate District, 12 plays, 57 yards, another 6 minutes, 44 seconds off the clock, and a 7-yard touchdown run for Cole Diamond. Ensuing kickoff, Workman sends it deep along the near side, taken at the 21, dropped actually by Kevon Warren, picked up by Naeem Kearney. Kearney giving up some ground, looking for some running room to the far side, not going to find any. There was a big crackback type of block. I was waiting to see if a flag came down. It did not. Naeem Kearney is taken down, though, all the way back at the 12-yard line.
It was 2 plays going the length of the field. The last drive for Martinsburg, they're going to need something pretty similar here. They need 2 possessions, and they need 2 possessions quick.
Well, a couple of streaks on the line here. Martinsburg 5-0 against Spring Valley all time, and the Dogs riding the second longest winning streak in the nation, 57 wins in a row, and they have won 65 in a row here at home against West Virginia opponents. So a lot of things on the line over the final 4:46 in this one. They set it down at the Bulldog 13-yard line. First down and 10. Peyton Curry out of the gun, takes that snap and hands it off. Naeem Kearney coming here to the near side, gets a couple of blocks, gets to the 15-yard line, and then wrestled down there. Jace Caldwell makes a nice tackle. Martinsburg's going to probably have to get a little hurry up. Set it down close to the 17. Naeem Kearney picks up 4 yards. He's got 8 carries, 64 yards in this one.
And Jarvis Thurston's got to be careful. A little bit of chatter going on as he was going back to get into formation. The last thing you need here is a penalty that pushes that football back. Got to play smart.
Snap back, Curry, pass, far side, a little too high and incomplete. Trying to get it to the slot receiver on just a quick square in, but threw it too high for Jarvis Thurston, and on the outside, Dorn Smith was there, and I believe that was Ben Turner who made the diving attempt. Could not come up with the INT. It's incomplete, and the Dogs will face a 3rd down and 6 from their own 17. First 3rd down they have attempted here in this second half after going just 2 for 6 in the first half. They've only run 12 offensive plays in this second half. Peyton Curry out of the gun, takes the snap. Looking to the near side. Now the pocket collapses. He rolls to that far side, able to elude a would-be tackler, throws deep along the near far sideline. Pardon me. It's as good as a punt as it's intercepted by Brody Brumfield at the 46-yard line in Spring Valley territory. And that may just about be it with 3:59 left. Uh-oh, hang on. We do have some penalty markers now. Let's wait and see what we will have. Personal foul, roughing the passer against Spring Valley, and Martinsburg catches a huge break. Wow. I got to admit, as I watched him letting go of the football, I turned my eyes downfield to see where that one was going. I did not see the hit.
I watched, but it looked like the hit was almost simultaneous. I guess as maybe the tackle itself sort of driving to the ground. I'd have to go back and watch the replay on that one, but certainly looked like Peyton Curry was letting the football go as contact was just about to be made. Man, you said it perfectly. Martinsburg catches a break there as that was all but the ball game on that interception.
Now we're waiting to see where they're going to position the football. Wait a minute. They're moving the chains and everything all the way back down along that far sideline. So we are waiting to see what the indication will be. We had received the initial call, or the signal, I guess you would say, that said personal foul and roughing the passer.
Unless there was a second penalty we missed that it made it offsetting. And now they're going to move the chains up.
Okay, so they're marking it off from that prior spot. I guess that's what they were doing, where they'll move it out to the 26-yard line. So it took them a moment. I guess they were already moving the chains after the interception, so it took a moment to put the chains back, and now they move it out to the 26-yard line where it becomes a 1st down and 10 for Martinsburg. Oh, boy, got to get something going here. There is Kevon Warren. He's got it over the right side of the line. Gets beyond the 30, slips to a tackle at the 35, coming near side of the 40 in the midfield stripe. He leaps over a man at the 45 and gets taken down at the 40-yard line of Spring Valley. coming in from behind. I believe that was Zane. Yes, it is. Zane Brumfield who made that tackle, but a nice run again by Kevon Warren, who did it earlier in this second half. So put it at the 40-yard line now in Spring Valley territory. That last gain good for 34 yards. Kevon Warren running like a madman here in this second half. 8 carries for 143 yards we have him for.
And now a penalty on top of it. The flag was never thrown, but a personal foul on the end of that play. So put that ball at the 25-yard line, 15 yards closer to the end zone. And Matt, you talk about needing a big play. There's one.
There's two.
Yeah.
The run and the penalty. All the way down to the 25-yard line now in Spring Valley territory. It becomes a 1st and 10 for Martinsburg. Give that ball again to Kevon Warren back out there at quarterback. He awaits that snap, and he's got it. Looking for running room here to the left. A little cutback lane, and he goes down at the 22-yard line. That gain for just 3 yards. Not sure he let that play develop quite enough. Thought he had a cutback lane that closed very quickly.
When you have his speed, when you see a hole, you tend to just put it in high gear and go.
That is true. 2nd down and 7. Clock at 3:20 and counting. 22-13, Spring Valley with the lead. Martinsburg with the football. Snap back, Kevon Warren fakes the give to Naeem Kearney. Warren keeps it between the hash marks and the numbers on the near side. He weaves through the defense down close to the 15-yard line.
It's enough for a 1st down, I believe. Yes, it is.
Should be.
15-yard line.
Let's wait a moment. Are they going to measure? They actually set it at the 16-yard line, so the knee must have gone down first. They set it at the 16, so he needed 7. And
they now give the indication it is a 1st down.
But I thought they snapped the football at the 25 after the 15-yard penalty after the long. Anyway, nonetheless, we'll take it.
1st and 10 Dogs.
From the 16-yard line. 1st down and 10, 13 first downs for Martinsburg. Snap back again to Kevon Warren, and no place to go there. Tried to find some room to his left and gets taken down after a gain of 1. Wow, he did get to the 15.
Under 3 minutes to play now, 2:47 and counting on a running 4th quarter clock. And yeah, again, that was just a matter of numbers. 1 blocker out on this near side and just nowhere to go with 3 Spring Valley helmets right in his way.
2nd and 9, handoff going to Braxton Todd right up the middle. He's able to squirt through a couple of would-be tackles and get inside the 5. He'll be taken down close to the 4. Give Braxton Todd a gain of 11 yards. Martinsburg with another 1st down. 1st down goal to go from the 4. 8th play of the possession. They do not have a lot of time. 2:25 and counting. Kevon Warren out of the gun, has 2 backs to his left side. He takes that shotgun snap, going to follow those blocks off this left side, turns the corner, gets to the goal line, dives, he's in. It's a Martinsburg Bulldog touchdown. Kevon Warren goes in from 4 yards out to draw Martinsburg a little closer with 2:14 left in this one.
And Matt, you said that he didn't let the play develop a few plays back. That time did a perfect job of letting those blockers on the near side pull to the left and set up the scene for him on the outside. Did a very good job of letting it develop right there.
We've got 12 carries, 158 yards now for Kevon Warren. Finds pay dirt for the first time in this one. Dogs will go for the single-point conversion with the score right now 22-19. Romer for that PAT. Snap is back, placement down, kick is on the way. Right down the middle. 2:14 left in this one. Don't go anywhere. Another 90-second break, and then we're back. It is 22-20, Spring Valley. Gotta do it.
We all know what a good time looks like. But what is it made of? We can think of a few things. In this case, it's handcrafted food to gather around, an ever-changing variety of wine, and a Friday night. Do yourself a favor. Experience the good in a good time.
John Perdue never dreamed he'd go to college, let alone become one of the best state treasurers. John Perdue brought back financial integrity and transparency to the treasurer's office. He created the highly successful Smart 529 College Savings Program, and under his watch has returned more than $230 million in unclaimed property. He's created the 457 Retirement Program and WV Able, and his Board of Treasury Investments has the highest rating from Standard & Poor's.
I'm John Perdue, and I've never forgotten that I worked for you.
Let's talk trash, because when it comes to trash, you have options. Panhandle Dumpsters is a local family-owned garbage hauling company serving both residential and commercial customers with weekly trash pickup, dumpster service, yard waste pickup, and bulk pickups too. Panhandle Dumpsters will give you a free trash can and provide curbside service for just $23 a month. Panhandle Dumpsters features a fleet of quieter, eco-friendly garbage trucks, thereby reducing the noise usually associated with pickup. Switch now and save up to 30%. Call 833-DUMP-STR, panhandledumpsters.com.
4 yards, a touchdown run for Kevon Warren. Onside kick coming near side, bounced up in the air and grabbed by the Bulldogs. It is taken on that huge hop by Roman Pearson, a 5'10 sophomore, and Roman Pearson takes it down inside the 45. I'm not sure if they'll allow him to advance it. I think he's going to end up having it at the 49 of Spring Valley.
And Matt, Roman Pearson could not touch that football until the 50-yard line and timed that bounce perfectly. Onside kicks in football this day and age are nearly impossible. That is how you do it, and a huge play for Martinsburg.
Well, and let's give credit to Nathan Romer. That onside kick was absolutely perfect, the way it bounced up into the air. So from the 49 of Spring Valley, first down and 10 for Martinsburg with 2:12 left. Oh, my goodness, don't go anywhere.
I got nowhere to be.
Peyton Curry going to line up in the shotgun, so he's back out there. I believe that is Naeem Kearney to his right side. They will fake the give to Kearney, give instead to Kevon Warren. Warren can come in motion out of a slot position to the left. He turned up the near side hash mark and moves down close to the 42-yard line.
And if you're Martinsburg, this is the pace you want to go at. If you can get 7 yards a pop like that, you want to take some time off the clock because Spring Valley ain't scoring quick.
Second down and 3 from the 42 of Spring Valley. 1:45 and counting in this one. Peyton Curry repositioning. Naeem Kearney. Curry takes that shotgun snap. Fakes the give one way, gives on the end around, and I believe that was Braxton Todd, and it was, who may have had just too much of the giddy up and couldn't turn the corner, lost his own footing. That reminded you of
44-yard line. Awful thick right there.
So that'll end up being a loss of 2, brings up a 3rd down and a 5.
Obviously a big 3rd down, but clearly 2-down territory, no question about that. 1:10 remaining in the ball game.
Snap back, Curry's got it. Gives to Kevon Warren, looking to turn the corner to the right side. He cuts it up and gets down to the 41-yard line. That gain is going to be good for 4 yards, but it's going to bring up a 4th down and 1. Martinsburg did not get the first down. And timeout going to be taken by Martinsburg. We'll take a 1-minute break. We'll be back in 60 seconds with 56 seconds left. And right now, Spring Valley leading 22-20.
1 minute break, just 60 seconds, just 60.
You need to keep your vehicle in good working order, but car and truck repairs can be very costly. Bears Repair in Martinsburg performs all kinds of auto repairs at prices most often well below their competition. Bears Repair offers tune-ups, oil change and lubrication, small and large engine and transmission repair, wheel balancing, front-end alignment, exhaust system replacement, air conditioning checks, auto inspections, and new tires. Stop by for a free estimate at Bears Repair, 904 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg, phone 262-0208. Bears Repair.
They're my closest friends. We've been through a lot together. Seeing our kids off to college, Kelly losing her mom, my 50th birthday. I trust them with so much. So when it came to my finances, I trusted Kelly's referral to her Ameriprise advisor. Beth gives me the comprehensive advice that helps me feel confident my financial future is secure. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial.
For Martinsburg from the 41 of Spring Valley with 56 seconds left. The Dogs down by 2. Shotgun formation. Peyton Curry awaiting the snap, and there's movement by the back to the right side of Peyton Curry. The illegal procedure will make it now a 4th down and roughly 6.
And that one hurts. That one hurts. Unfortunately, Naeem Kearney just a little too anxious.
4th and 7.
6 penalties, 49 yards against Martinsburg in this one. Much better than last week when they really struggled, committing 12 penalties for 100 yards. But as you said, Matt, this one, it hurts. Move it back to the 46 in Spring Valley territory. On 4th down and 6, the play call coming in from the near sideline. Single receiver here to the near side. You've got 2 receivers over to that far side. Braxton Todd is the slot. 2 backs to the left of the quarterback. Todd comes in motion. There is the snap. They'll fake the give, and it's a deep slant and almost intercepted. That one was read perfectly by one of the safeties, Brody Brumfield.
Just as good as an interception at this point in the game. That is a turnover on downs. And Matt, you're about to see the nation's second longest winning streak snapped.
We are. Martinsburg now 1 of 4 on 4th down conversions. They got the touchdown, Matt. They got the onside kick recovery, but they could not make the plays they needed. And with 51 seconds left, Spring Valley takes over. Our 4th quarter presented by Democrat John Perdue, running for re-election as state treasurer, and also presented by Marshall Sports Medicine Institute. They take care of the herd. Let them take care of you.
What a football game.
Yes.
What a game.
A 57-game winning streak for the Martinsburg Bulldogs will be snapped. They have not lost since 2015, a 35-30 loss at Capital in the playoffs. After that, reeled off perfect seasons in 2016, 17, 18, and 19. 4 straight AAA state championships for a second time in program history. They did it in 2010, 11, 12, and 13 as well. Looks though like Spring Valley has made that long trip and will go home with the win. Jack Roy up under center, drops to a knee.
Coach Sherman going to use that last timeout.
He will go ahead and burn that final timeout. Why not? You can't take it with you.
Can't take it with you when you go.
All right, let's go ahead. We're going to keep it right here.
We got to talk about it. If you're Coach Mark Hash right now, defensive coordinator in that huddle, and you're Britt Sherman, 2 guys that have been around for a couple of years. Britt Sherman's been around since he was a player here, and now the first-year head coach. Obviously, this win streak was amazing.
Yes.
I mean, the second longest in the nation right now, behind Caledonia in Minnesota. What do you say after this one? We lost to an extremely good football team.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I tell you what.
But you just at 57 wins, you don't want to be in this position. And at some point, somebody was going to have to be. It was inevitable.
That's it. Yep.
It was inevitable. This wasn't going to go on forever.
Right. You're never going to win them all.
Even De La Salle lost at one point.
Now we'll see how this team responds. Right now, Martinsburg does not have a game next week. All right, here we go as Jack Roy again takes the snap and again drops to a knee. Martinsburg, I would have them out of timeouts, so no chance to stop that clock. It's going to continue to wind. They just now set the football down at under 35 seconds. I don't think they're going to have to snap the football again. Spring Valley still lined up right along the line of scrimmage. Clock
one more
continuing
snap
to
just
wind.
for good measure.
Might be, yep. Jack Roy up under center will take the snap again, drop to a knee, and that's going to do it. Let the celebration begin over on that far sideline as the run for the Martinsburg Bulldogs ends here tonight. 57 consecutive wins and 65 consecutive home victories against West Virginia opponents, and those streaks are snapped tonight by the Spring Valley Timberwolves as they get a hard-fought 22-20 victory as Spring Valley goes to 2-0 and the Martinsburg Bulldogs fall to 1-1. The teams meeting in the middle of the field and congratulating one another. A ton of respect for these two programs, the 2 best programs in the Mountain State over the last 5 years. They met today for the first time in the regular season, and it was a good one.
We figured this was going to be the best game of the week, maybe one of the best games of the season. I don't think anybody was prepared for how good of a football game this was. It was played clean, very minimal penalties, very minimal turnovers, which is what you expect out of these teams. But with the situation going on with COVID, you just don't know, with this school schedules being different, you just don't know what you're going to get with each one of these games. But this was just an absolutely fantastic football game. Somebody had to win. Somebody had to lose. It's the nature of sports. And unfortunately for Martinsburg, the time just ran out for them.
This is a game, though, that is going to make this young football team better as this season goes along. Well, our post-game show coming up, brought to you by the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg. Let's send it back to the studio. We got a 2-minute timeout before returning to Coburn Field at David M. Walker Stadium, where tonight it was Spring Valley getting the better of Martinsburg 22-20.
Wow.
An injury at any age can be a game changer. But with walk-in clinics Monday through Saturday, the Marshall Sports Medicine Institute is ready to get you off the bench and back in the game. Marshall Sports Medicine Institute takes care of the herd. Let us take care of you.
Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilston Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
McCray is dedicated to protecting our employees and you, our customers, as we provide our communities essential heating, cooling, and indoor air quality needs during these trying times. Take advantage of McCray's exclusive offer. Purchase a new Train high-efficiency system and receive a $1,000 instant rebate plus 0% interest financing for 48 months on qualifying products. Hurry, this offer won't last. Visit McCrayway.com/TV today to learn more. It's hard to stop a train.
An injury at any age can be a game changer. But with walk-in clinics Monday through Saturday, the Marshall Sports Medicine Institute is ready to get you off the bench and back in the game. Marshall Sports Medicine Institute takes care of the herd. Let us take care of you.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
Spring Valley team, as they break their post-game team huddle in a quick yell and cheer, as they have done what no one's been able to do in the last 4 years, and that is beat the Martinsburg Bulldogs and, well, beat them here at home, which has not happened since 2007. You ready for that? 2007, the last time a West Virginia team got a win here at Coburn Field over the Bulldogs, and that was Jefferson in that final game of the 2007 season, 29-6. And tonight, Spring Valley gets the win, 22-20. Along with Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller. John Alderton, our main cameraman upstairs. Ella Joseph, our sideline camera operator. Kira Anderson with our on-site production. And Donald Kinney, our engineer at the studio. All right, Matt Crawford, let's look back at how this one played out. Not a lot of possessions. Spring Valley had a 5-minute, 24-second, 11-play, 85-yard drive that culminated at the 11:15 mark of quarter number 2 to take a 7-0 lead. Brody Brumfield with a 10-yard touchdown run, and again 7-0 to score. Martinsburg would answer. Naeem Kearney with a 26-yard touchdown run capped a 7-play, 58-yard drive, but the extra point was blocked. 7-6 was our score going into the locker room at the half. Matt, it looked like Martinsburg was ready to take the lead as they had the opening possession of the second half, driving with the football. Peyton Curry gets hit, loses it, and then after losing the football at the 8-yard line, Spring Valley really put the knife in with a 17-play, 92-yard, 9-minute, 55-second drive. Got the 1-yard touchdown run for Cole Diamond, and he added the 2-point conversion, 15-6 at that point. How are the Dogs going to respond?
They needed to, and they did.
They
did, and that's what great football teams do. They responded. Martinsburg did that tonight. Again, just ran out of time. And I still go back. You don't see the discipline and the style of play in football anymore of that 17 play all the way down the field took just under 10-minute drive that led to a touchdown for Spring Valley. You just don't see that in football, period, but especially in this day and age when everybody wants to throw the football. That is still one of the most impressive drives I've seen at the high school level in a very long time.
All right, Martinsburg answers. 2 plays, 64 yards, 19 seconds.
Bingo.
That's all it took. 54 yards from Kevon Warren. It was a 10-yard touchdown run for Naeem Kearney, and Martinsburg got the extra point from Nathan Romer. 15-13 at that point, but after Martinsburg thought they had recovered an onside kick, Spring Valley had it, and they put together a 12-play, 57-yard drive. How about the 4th and 5 play from the 41 of Martinsburg when they ran the little play action in the play you kept waiting for, their only completion of the night? Jack Roy able to hit Jace Caldwell 34 yards all the way down to the 7-yard line, and they punched it in for what proves to be the difference.
Yeah, and while that didn't end up being the play that necessarily sealed the deal, you definitely got the feeling that was going to be the play that ended up being the deciding factor. Again, Martinsburg, being the great football team they are, made it very interesting at the end. But again, when you have two powerhouses like this, unfortunately, it's going to come down to who can seal the deal at the end. And today, it was Spring Valley, and deservingly so. They played a whale of a football game.
All right, so that score made it again. Let's see, as Spring Valley punched it in with the 7-yard touchdown run from Cole Diamond. They got the 2-point conversion, the PAT, to make it 22-13. And then Martinsburg put together an 8-play, 82-yard drive, 2 minutes and 32 seconds. A pair of personal foul penalties hurting Spring Valley in that drive and helping Martinsburg to keep it going. They get the 4-yard touchdown run from Kevon Warren, cut the deficit to 22-20 with a Nathan Romer PAT, and then Martinsburg recovers the onside kick. But they end up facing a 4th down and 1. An illegal procedure penalty makes it a 4th down and 6. And the incomplete pass with 51 seconds left allows Spring Valley to run out the clock, and the Timberwolves get the win 22-20.
And you want to talk about individual plays early in the game matter? Look at that extra point early. Yep. At the end of the game, you're talking now a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, and you're talking about tying the football game if that extra point goes through early in the game. Again, it's a sporting event. It's football. Things happen. You miss extra points. I'm not saying that's the reason they lost, but people talk about, it's just an extra point early in the ball game. It's not going to matter late down the stretch. And you look at just the individual plays like that, and they all build up to certain events. And maybe the game's a little bit different if they're scoring an extra, or getting a touchdown and going for too late in the game to tie the football rather than trying to get that onside kick.
I have often heard the adage, a game is won or lost on about 5 plays.
Yep.
Problem is, you don't know which 5 plays. So you better go out there and give it everything you got for every play and make sure that you come out on top. Tonight, it was Spring Valley getting the victory again, 22-20. All right, we got a 2.5-minute timeout, 2.5 minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll take a look at some of the numbers from this one. Our postgame brought to you by the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg. They feature a full lunch and dinner menu with daily evening specials from 5 to 9, and they're served in a clean, comfortable atmosphere. Find the full menu at the Palace Lounge Facebook page. This is West Virginia High School Football on Talk Radio, WRNR TV 10.
An injury at any age can be a game changer. But with walk-in clinics Monday through Saturday, the Marshall Sports Medicine Institute is ready to get you off the bench and back in the game. Marshall Sports Medicine Institute takes care of the herd. Let us take care of you.
It's one of the toughest times you'll ever face when someone close to you passes away. It's a swirl of papers to sign and arrangements to be made, all while you're dealing with grief. At Brown Funeral Home, we encourage you to pre-plan. Pre-planning not only makes things easier for you, it protects you from rising costs. At Brown Funeral Home, our families are precious to us, and so are yours. Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson.
You need to keep your vehicle in good working order, but car and truck repairs can be very costly. Bears Repair in Martinsburg performs all kinds of auto repairs at prices most often well below their competition. Bears Repair offers tune-ups, oil change and lubrication, small and large engine and transmission repair, wheel balancing, front end alignment, exhaust system replacement, air conditioning checks, auto inspections, and new tires. Stop by for a free estimate at Bears Repair, 904 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. Phone 262-0208. Bears Repair.
Hey football fans, it's your friendly alarm professional, Ben Copenhaver with Dynamark Atlantic Security. Who do you trust to keep your family and valuables safe? Integrity, trust, and professionalism are all reasons why Dynamark is the choice for home and business security in the Eastern Panhandle. Dynamark is proud to serve the community and be your first choice for alarm solutions. Don't become a statistic of crime today. Phone Dynamark Security to protect your tomorrow. Phone 304-671-2158.
An injury at any age can be a game changer. But with walk-in clinics Monday through Saturday, the Marshall Sports Medicine Institute is ready to get you off the bench and back in the game. Marshall Sports Medicine Institute takes care of the herd. Let us take care of you.
This November, be a part of change and help elect Tony Petrucci to the Berkeley County Council.
With my experience and conservative background, I feel I can serve the people well. I have maintained a very conservative and practical approach to handle the county. To put it plainly, I want the county to be prosperous and its citizens healthy and safe.
Tony's first term was described as leaving behind a reputation of fairness and fiscal responsibility. And when you vote Petrucci, you're voting for fiscal responsibility, health and safety, citizen involvement, and economic growth. This November, vote Tony Petrucci.
Paid for by candidate.
By Dynamark Atlantic Security, who remind you, don't be a statistic. Protect your family, home, and business with the local alarm professionals at Dynamark Atlantic Security. Wow, Matt. Let's go to Spring Valley. They get the win by the 22-20 final. We had them at 25 plays, 131 yards in the first half. Second half, 32 plays, 160 yards. It's a total of 291 yards on 57 plays. And you may not think 291 sounds like a lot, but they really only had 6 possessions in this football game.
Yeah.
They had one right at the end of the first half that really didn't mean anything as they dropped to a knee, and at the end of the game they had a second possession where they dropped to a knee. So technically 8 times their offense was out on the field, but 6 offensive possessions, and it's because they were able to control the line of scrimmage and run the style of football they want to run.
And I still think you give Martinsburg's defense a lot of credit.
Yes.
They did a lot of adjusting within the game, and it was it wasn't even like halftime they completely had to wipe the chalkboard off and start new. They were making adjustments. Coach Hash and Coach Ostrowski did a very good job of making in-game adjustments that slowed down that running attack for the second quarter for Spring Valley. But again, this offense just wears you down. It's what makes Spring Valley the great football team they are, is when you can consistently get those 3-4 yards a pop and just wear down a defense. At some point, the defensive line's going to run out of steam.
Let's look at a couple of team totals for Spring Valley. 6 of 10 on third down conversions. Matt, that's one of those elements of a game where, you know, for a defense, you got to find ways to get off the field, and Spring Valley instead found ways to keep drives going and run the clock and run the football and eventually find pay dirt. They were 1 of 3 on fourth down conversions, and that conversion was the 34-yard pass on that 4th down and 5 late in the ball game. Let's see. We had them, Spring Valley, that is, had about 5 penalties for 72 yards. They had roughly 19 first downs, and we had them committing 1 turnover. Martinsburg, well, let's go to their team totals. Had 29 plays, 142 yards in the first half, 20 plays, 194 in the second half. So the Dogs actually with more yardage in this game, 49 plays, 336 yards. It breaks down to 279 rushing yards, just 57 passing yards. The Dogs struggled on third down in this one, 3 of 8 and just 1 of 4 on fourth downs. Martinsburg, we had them at 15 first downs, and the Dogs committing, 6 penalties for 49 yards in this one. And Martinsburg had a turnover as well. Spring Valley had their turnover in the first half. Martinsburg had a turnover in the second half. All right, some individual totals for Spring Valley. Man, how about Cole Diamond? Let me see as I get 23 carries, 110 yards, and a couple of second-half rushing touchdowns. Added a two-point conversion in there as well. 13 carries, 65 yards for Brody Brumfield, and he had a touchdown run in that first half. Nice game for Jack Roy. 1 of 3 passing for 34 yards. Hit that big one that he needed to hit running the football. He carried twice for 15 yards. And by the way, it was Jace Caldwell who had the only reception in the ball game for Spring Valley. For Martinsburg individually, tough night for the senior quarterback Peyton Curry, 5 of 14 for 52 yards. Running the football, I've got 14 carries, 169 yards. And let's see, a touchdown run for Kevon Warren. And then for Naeem Kearney, 8 carries for 64 yards. And Naeem Kearney found pay dirt twice in this one. Also, you had 4 carries for 30 yards for Braxton Todd. So those just some of the numbers from this one. And our post-game stats are brought to you by Dynamark Atlantic Security. They have the solutions to meet your needs and local monitoring, too. Call our friend Ben Copenhaver to learn more at 304-671-2158. All right, let's take another 2.5-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll find out what else is going on around the Eastern Panhandle Athletic Conference and the Mountain State of West Virginia. It's the Palace Lounge postgame show. Final tonight here at Martinsburg, Spring Valley 22 and Martinsburg 20.
An injury at any age can be a game changer. But with walk-in clinics Monday through Saturday, the Marshall Sports Medicine Institute is ready to get you off the bench and back in the game. Marshall Sports Medicine Institute takes care of the herd. Let us take care of you.
You need to keep your vehicle in good working order, but car and truck repairs can be very costly. Bears Repair in Martinsburg performs all kinds of auto repairs at prices most often well below their competition. Bears Repair offers tune-ups, oil change and lubrication, small and large engine and transmission repair, wheel balancing, front-end alignment, exhaust system replacement, air conditioning checks, auto inspections, and new tires. Stop by for a free estimate at Bears Repair, 904 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg, phone 262-0208. Bears Repair. The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg offers hand-cut, locally sourced steaks, fresh seafood, and sandwiches with great daily specials like 75-cent wings all day Monday, prime rib on Tuesday, New York strip on Wednesday, and chef specials every Friday and Saturday. Ask for the lunch punch card and have lunch on the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard. And don't forget the Big Apple Lounge on Sater Drive in Inwood.
My name is Marshall Wilson. I'm the only independent serving in the West Virginia legislature, and I'm running for governor to uphold and defend the Constitution of the state of West Virginia and of the United States, because I want my children to raise their children in a free, just, prosperous, and secure land. If my children have that opportunity, yours will also. Look us up at marshallforwv.com. Please vote S. Marshall Wilson for governor. Thank you very much.
Write in S. Marshall Wilson for governor, paid for by Marshall for WV.
WVU Medicine encourages you, don't delay your health care. If you've been putting off a critical medical procedure or surgery due to COVID-19, now is the time to reschedule it. Delaying necessary procedures could create additional health problems. WVU Medicine Berkeley Medical Center and Jefferson Medical Center are open for elective and non-elective surgeries and procedures, and both have implemented additional sanitation measures to ensure the safety of our patients and employees. Call your doctor's office today to schedule or reschedule your surgery or procedure with WVU Medicine.
An injury at any age can be a game changer. But with walk-in clinics Monday through Saturday, the Marshall Sports Medicine Institute is ready to get you off the bench and back in the game. Marshall Sports Medicine Institute takes care of the herd. Let us take care of you.
Bank with branches in Martinsburg, Inwood, Shepherdstown, Charlestown, and Sharpsburg, Maryland. Jefferson Security Bank, building community. Matt, what do we got?
Let's start with Spring Mills at home taking on the Jefferson Cougars. Final in that one, all Cardinals, 52-28.
3 straight games with 50-plus points for Spring Mills to open the season.
You and I both said that we thought this was a pick-em game because Jefferson was going to be the team that had the athletes that could probably compete best with Keon Padmore Johnson based on the 2 prior games that Spring Mills played. But different week, same story for Spring Mills, and one that I'm sure Jefferson thought they were they had a very good shot in. I thought they did. You thought they did. We talked about that all week, but it was all Spring Mills, 52-28. They're now 3-0 on the season. Jefferson drops to 1-2. Musselman was in Pennsylvania taking on Hollidaysburg, and it was all Appleman, as you may expect, 43-7. Last update we have from Washington at Kaiser was all the Golden Tornadoes 42-28. And last update from Clay County, that's where the Hedgesville Eagles were at this evening, was in the third quarter, still 12-0. That was our halftime score as well.
Clay County on top in that one.
Yeah, feel free to send us a message on Facebook before we get off the air if anybody listening has any other scores to those two games that are not finished quite yet. Let's take a look at some other games around the state, starting with AAA. Oak Glen up by 15 over John Marshall. Both teams 2-0 coming into the game in the fourth quarter. So it looks like Oak Glen is going to pull the AA, AAA upset in that one. A game that happened earlier in the week, it was AAA Bridgeport beating Fairmont Senior 44-33. The Polar Bears now 1-1 on the season. Bridgeport 2-0. Frankfort all over Berkeley Springs tonight, 41-0. And those are the games in AAA featuring AA schools. Now back to AAA on AAA schools for the evening. Never got a score from Brook at Albert Gallatin in Pennsylvania. Greenbrier East all over Wyoming East, 42-0. That game last updated in the third quarter. Final, Hampshire and Buchanan Upshur. All Hampshire, 58-6.
Nice.
Good win for Hampshire. Wheeling Park all over Huntington, 42-14. Parkersburg getting a 14-point win over Marietta out of Ohio, 34-20. Princeton beating Parkersburg South 34-14. That's Princeton's first win of the year. A tight one between Lewis County and Ripley, 16-13. Lewis County currently in the lead that game in the fourth quarter. And all Bluefield over Woodrow Wilson in the third quarter was the last update, 48-0. Woodrow Wilson was looking for their first win of the year tonight. They are not going to get it. And real quick, some other scores of interest from around the region. In Single A, Moorfield getting a win over Tucker County, 44-28. Moorfield now 2-1 on the season. And looking at any other game that would be of interest here in the region, let's go Petersburg getting the win over Pocahontas County, 41-20. That's your look at what is going on around the state, some finals. And again, in the Eastern Panhandle, real quick, the finals in the EPAC, Musselman over Hollidaysburg, 43-7. It was all Spring Mills over Jefferson, 52-28. Our last update from Kaiser was that Washington was down 42-28. And last update from Clay County was that Hedgesville was down by a dozen, 12-0. Our final, Spring Valley pulling the win on the road over Martinsburg, snapping a 56-game win streak, the second longest in the country. Final score, 22-20.
Postgame scoreboard brought to you by Jefferson Security Bank. They have branches in Martinsburg, Inwood, Shepherdstown, Charlestown, and Sharpsburg, Maryland. Jefferson Security Bank, building community. All right, one more 2.5-minute timeout. We'll wrap up our post-game show brought to you by the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg. When we come back, hey, we still need to name a player of the game, and electrifying play of the game, and the collision of the game, and then we'll try to tell you what we're doing next week, although right now we really don't know. We'll explain after this. A 2.5-minute break, and then we are back. It's West Virginia High School football on Talk Radio, WRNR and TV 10.
An injury at any age can be a game changer. But with walk-in clinics Monday through Saturday, the Marshall Sports Medicine Institute is ready to get you off the bench and back in the game. Marshall Sports Medicine Institute takes care of the herd. Let us take care of you.
I'm Natalie Tennant. As West Virginians, we'll get through this crisis together. We've been knocked down before, and we get back up. I've been there with you, and I'll be there again working for a better future like I did as Secretary of State. By modernizing the office, I saved you money and gave it back, lowered fees and helped businesses create jobs, and made voting easier. We need that kind of leadership again. It takes courage, vision, and cooperation. I know we can do this, West Virginia. I believe in you.
Ollie's VIP Northside Sports Bar and Grill, located on Veronica Drive, Martinsburg, is your Friday night football TV headquarters. Come watch the game indoors or on our party patio out back, featuring plenty of seating, big screen TV, outdoor bar, and fire pit. Order your favorite item from the full menu or try one of their daily specials. Ollie's is open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner. Come meet your friends and make new ones at Ollie's VIP Northside Sports Bar and Grill. Visit our Facebook today.
Committed to keeping Berkeley County safe. That's Curtis Keller. He's dedicated his life to public service as sheriff, volunteer firefighter, paramedic, captain, police chief, guardsman, and for 30 years, serving as a referee for high school football. Experienced, dedicated, honest, and the best choice for sheriff of Berkeley County. That's Curtis Keller. This November, help re-elect Curtis Keller for sheriff of Berkeley County. Paid for by candidate.
Orsini's, not just an appliance store anymore. They're your one-stop resource for all home needs, whether it's custom kitchen design, countertops, or cabinets, or check out their new sleep studio with Tempur-Pedic, Sealy, and Stearns & Foster. For all of your outdoor living needs, Orsini's has Gladiator Garage Works, Traeger grills, barbecue accessories, barbecue rubs and sauces, and every flavor wood pellets. Visit their brand new 8,200 square foot showroom at 360 Hack Wilson Way, 304-267-7251, Orsinis.com.
An injury at any age can be a game changer, but with walk-in clinics Monday through Saturday, the Marshall Sports Medicine Institute is ready to get you off the bench and back in the game. Marshall Sports Medicine Institute takes care of the herd. Let us take care of you.
We're back on Final Time here at Coburn Field at David M. Walker Stadium. It is time for us to, first of all, name a couple of big plays and a player of the game. Let's go first to the collision of the game.
Couple of them.
Yeah?
A couple of them, and you could say a couple of them on both sides of the football. There's a couple of runs that Spring Valley had where pick your running back of choice lowered their shoulder and ran over a defender for Martinsburg. And Martinsburg, a couple of big hits. Anthony Smith, I know, had a couple in the game today. So you could really give a couple. I don't know if you can single out just one. There was a couple of good licks and a couple of hard runs that could have been the collision of the game.
I like the one with a loss of about 4 yards on that blitz. Was it Hudson Clement who came in and was able to clip the ankles and take down the running back in the backfield? I mean, ultimately Spring Valley found a way to overcome, but that was a heck of a play by Hudson Clement. Our Cody's Body Shop collision of the game. Cody's Body Shop at 851 Wilson Street, Martinsburg. Family owned. They offer superior customer service at a great price and performed by experienced, certified technicians. They're online at codysauto.com. That's COTYS auto.com or phone 304-901-4777. All right, electrifying play of the game. I'm thinking of the Kevon Warren run that, got them back to within a couple of points before Spring Valley ultimately pulled away again, but maybe the onside kick recovery.
Those two, play action pass, the only completion of the game.
Wow.
That was the dagger.
It was.
Looking back now, again, the build-up, the onside kick, it wasn't quite over yet, but it plays in the game. That was about as electrifying as you can get. But I'm with you. Those two were up there as well. I think you could – we did it last week. I think you could give at least one for each team. I don't know if you can pick one that was more important than the other in this game.
I think it works because our electrifying play is brought to you by Orsini's in Martinsburg, and they're not a one-stop shop.
Nope.
You want bedding, they got that. You want something for the kitchen, laundry appliances, you name it, they got that. And if you're an outdoorsman, hey, I want to do some cooking on a Traeger wood-fired grill, they got those as well. So what the heck, let's say several electrifying plays of the game brought to you by Orsini's. They're at 360 Hack Wilson Way in Martinsburg. Finally, man, this is a hard one. Player of the game brought to us by McCray Heating and Air Conditioning. Obviously it's got to be Cole Diamond for Spring Valley. For Martinsburg, I think it's Kevon Warren. The way that he came in and, in that second half really provided a huge spark. The 54-yard run to help get them to pay dirt right after that very long drive by Spring Valley. He made things happen throughout that second half, and without him, maybe this game's not even as close as it was.
Honorable mention, too, and this is going to be the group of the game. the Martinsburg defensive line and their adjustments and the offensive line for Spring Valley. I know that kind of contradicts itself. Well, how can one defensive line be very good and the opposing team's offensive line be very good? They both were.
Yeah.
Both adjusted throughout the game, had to handle different adversities throughout the game, and I thought both handled them very well. But, yeah, I'm with you. I think you got to give it to Kevon Warren for Martinsburg.
There you go, and that's our Players of the Game, brought to you by McRae Heating and Air Conditioning Services, named America's most trusted HVAC brand for 6 consecutive years. McRae Heating and Air, McRaeWay.com. All right, we are not sure what next week is going to bring for us. Here's the schedule as it stands right now for next week. Martinsburg does not have a game. Still open. They have been efforting, but at this moment, nothing is written down. No contract, no game. Jefferson is scheduled to play at Riverside. Kanawha County went red just a day ago, and so who knows what they're going to be. Certainly they probably won't be orange or even down to gold, so it doesn't look like Jefferson and Riverside are going to get to play. Musselman is scheduled to play at George Washington next week, and of course GW is in Kanawha County, so it leaves Musselman up in the air as well. The only 2 games that we can pretty much be assured of, Spring Mills is at Frankfort and Washington is at Hedgesville. So we've got to wait and find out how the weekend plays out, what counties get to play, what counties don't get to play, and whether Martinsburg, Jefferson, Musselman are able to put together a game that we would be in a position to broadcast. So at this moment in time, keep it tuned to Talk Radio WRNR, to TV 10, and to our Facebook pages. And as soon as we know something, we will get that information out there and let you know. But we do plan to bring you high school football next Friday. All right, that does it for us tonight. Wow, what a game. This was fun.
This was a good Friday night of high school football.
It really was. I know it's a tough ending for Martinsburg. Yep. The 57-game winning streak comes to a close. But I tell you what, it's
been a ride.
It's been a ride, and what a great effort. And, hey, no reason why you can't pick it up again in that next game and keep it rolling.
Got to start a new streak next week, right?
There you go. Well, special thanks to Matt Crawford, my partner, along with John Alderton, running our main camera, Ella Joseph, our sideline camera, Kira Anderson, our on-site producer, Donald Kinney, our studio engineer. Thanks again to Reeves Kurtner with Kindred Communications and the folks at 97.9 The River as we had a chance to broadcast down into the Huntington area. Thanks again to Mike Hornby, Delegate Jason Barrett, helping to make this game possible as they help to finance the bus trip to be able to get Spring Valley up here from that Huntington area. And, of course, thanks to Athletic Director Turtle Davis Moore, along with Principal Trent Sherman, Britt Sherman, the head coach here, Coach Brad Dingus. I mean, everybody's been so great to work with this week. All the staff and the folks here at Coburn Field at David M. Walker Stadium, great to work with, and we appreciate every one of you. I'm Matt Miller reminding you our final tonight in this one, Spring Valley 22 and Martinsburg 20. Until next week, so long, everyone.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
Pete Doherty will put Berkeley and Jefferson County first in the state Senate. Doherty has spent 4 decades fighting for our children, seniors, and veterans while keeping the Eastern Panhandle safe from crime. As your senator, Doherty will fight back against the Charleston establishment, ensure that police have the funding needed to protect our communities, repair our crumbling infrastructure and high-speed internet, and be a champion for public education. On November 3rd, let's tell Charleston there's a new sheriff in town. Vote Pete Doherty for state Senate.
John Perdue never dreamed he'd go to college, let alone become one of the best state treasurers. John Perdue brought back financial integrity and transparency to the treasurer's office. He created the highly successful Smart 529 College Savings Program, and under his watch has returned more than $230 million in unclaimed property. He's created the 457 Retirement Program and WV Able, and his Board of Treasury Investments has the highest rating from Standard & Poor's.
I'm John Perdue, and I've never forgotten that I worked for you.
Remember that last trip to the auto mechanic?
I also think your solenoid gasket is bad.
What?
Yep, that'll be another $500.
Forget that and go to D&N Auto Specialist at 230 Tavern Road, Martinsburg, where honesty is their best policy. Serving the Eastern Panhandle since 1974, D&N Auto is family-owned and operated, specializing in exhaust alignments and tires. From general maintenance to major overhauls, they'll treat you right. Call D&N Auto Specialist at 304-267-4078. Looking to buy a home in the Eastern Panhandle? Having trouble getting your house sold? Then call Chris Ross and the Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. A Martinsburg High School graduate, Chris knows the local market, and he's proven it as the #1 real estate team in West Virginia in 2019. Milestone Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. Phone 304-579-7349 or go to callchrisross.com. Let's celebrate your real estate milestone together.
And that concludes today's postgame show. Today's game has been brought to you by
Kent Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, the Skinner Law Firm,
For the best in high school, college, and NFL coverage all season long, keep it tuned in to Talk Radio, WRNR, Martinsburg. All rights reserved.